What's going on, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all platforms? Welcome to another episode of the True Big Blue Podcast with yours truly, Big Pat Sports Talk. And I got the Tasmanian Devil with me. What's going on, Taj? How you feeling
Nothing
tonight,
much,
man?
man. Nothing much, man. Just in here, just watching the Eastern Conference Finals right now.
Oh
Just
man,
checking out.
I'm so disappointed in my Mavericks. We down 3-1. I thought we were gonna get swept, but we pulled one out the other night. So at least we got one.
Yeah,
But I mean, a little bit of Giants news today as far as not injury concerns or anything, but as far as us be able to put people on IR. I think you're able to put up to 8 people on IR now. As far as the practice squad, which is the best news, I think we are able to hold up to 16 people on the practice squad now. So some of those guys that we have that we feel that could still contribute to the team down later into the future, we could put them on a practice squad. So maybe we won't have to lose someone like a David Seals, or say if Tamon Fox doesn't just quite crack the roster, we can have him on the practice squad. We can have up to 16 people. So if there's some people that get released and we want them, we could put them on a practice squad. So I think that's pretty dope. I think
that's
we have a lot of practice squad players that I think would benefit from being on the practice squad and that can contribute later on. If we need some veteran DBs, you can have up to 6 veterans on the practice squad this year. So that's pretty cool. What's
good. That's
going on,
good.
Knicks? What's going on, Coach Ed? Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, that's a good one, man. If anybody steals that, you let them know that you gonna slap them because you started that. That's pretty damn funny. I did a video with Leonard Williams today. What's going on, Tudo?
Uh-huh.
Tudo says, massive salute to Big Boss Pat and all Giants fellas. Drop by your office to pay our proper respects for all Giants fans around the world to slap all stinky boys. Slap and kick all stinky boys, losers out the door. Forget about it. Yeah, that's what we always do. What's going on, Jairus? Yeah, I gotta check that out, Coach. I'm definitely gonna check that out. Did a video with Leonard Williams. Now, Leonard Williams is one of the players that gets a lot of slander by the Giants community because of his contract. He's making what is it, Taj? Around 21 or 22 million dollars a year. I think it's $22 million a year, if I can
That's what
recollect.
That's what Leonard Williams is making right now. About like that's pretty much like his cap hit and all.
Yeah, and Leonard Williams gets talked about like horribly, like he's just a horrible player because he only had 6.5 sacks last year, and a year before he had 11.5. And the best thing that you can come up against Leonard Williams, which I put in the video, if you want to check it out, you can, is that you're comparing him to Aaron Donald.
Oh man.
And Aaron Donald, there's nobody like Aaron Donald in the league, especially at his position. Like I don't understand what that comparison for. So you're saying that he's a terrible player, that he's not a good player, that he's not worth the money because he's being compared to Aaron Donald,
I
who
don't know
Leonard Williams
why.
signed his contract after Aaron Donald signed his contract. I think like a year or two after Aaron Donald signed his contract. So do
Right.
you
And
know
he's gonna
when?
get even more money.
Yeah,
So
do you know what Aaron Donald, when he signs his new contract, is going to be over $30 million a year?
yeah, because that's the market.
You know that man's going to sign for anywhere between 32 to $35 million a year. Because one, the Rams don't want him to retire soon, and two, he's worth the money. So
Mm-hmm.
that $22 million compared to 35, I think that's measly compared to what Aaron Donald is getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to say that he's sorry because he's not putting up Aaron Donald's numbers. Aaron Donald was putting up numbers at the defensive tackle position that no defensive tackle in history has put up. The closest
Like
to him is Warren
and the
Sapp.
defensive tackle, like
Right.
not the
Jeffy,
defensive
what's
end.
going on, Jeff?
Good evening, guys. How you guys doing tonight?
What's up,
Man,
Jeff?
just fine, brother. Vinny, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. But I was just getting about the Leonard Williams conversation, and basically what I'm getting to is that it's a lot of factors that go into what Leonard Williams can do on this team. It's a lot of factors that go into that, and I think he's primed for a huge year because I think the emergence of Ojulari and Kayvon Thibodeau is going to help out Leonard Williams tremendously to get those one-on-one battles that he was getting when Dalvin Tomlinson and B.J. Hill was here in 2020. And I ask you, Jeff, have you seen Leonard Williams get stopped one-on-one on a consistent basis when he's one-on-one?
Absolutely
I
not.
haven't seen it.
No,
I haven't seen it.
no, I haven't seen him get stopped one-on-one at all. When that guy has the opportunity and teams aren't double and tripling teaming him, he's able to overpower some of those guards on the inside and have his way. So, I mean, I agree with you 100% that with the presence of Ojulari and Thibodeau now on the outside, I think it's just going to help Leonard Williams' game even more. And he might even be able to approach those numbers he had later on when he was able to get close to 10 sacks a year. And I even mentioned on Hit Squad's how you doing, Coach? I even mentioned on Hit Squad's stream earlier, I think Dexter Lawrence is primed to have a big year too, because he's that guy on that defensive line you're going to forget about because of Leonard Williams, Ojulari, and Thibodeau getting the attention, and then Dex could just do his thing on the inside. So it's not even just Williams that's going to benefit. It's going to be Dexter Lawrence too.
Right. What's going on, Coach? Can you hear us?
See, you got that boy in the back.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. I see you got LT in the background. That looks good, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can. How you guys doing?
Man, just fine, bro. I got to check out your video too. Yeah, I mean, this dude was fighting through double teams in 2020 and was getting to the quarterback. But it's hard for you to put up stats when you're being double and triple team on every snap because we didn't have the edge rush presence last year that we needed. We didn't even have the linebackers that we needed last year. And Coach Ed, I know you have the most experience as far as coaching and knowing schemes and things. I just want to get your take on it. What do you think, Leo, the Lion? What do you think that he will do this year? As far as, do you think he has a bounce back year because we have more talent along the defensive line? Just what do you think about Leonard Williams in general?
It's going to be hard to single up on him. I mean, when you have, number one, the scheme with the movement, what Wink Martindale is going to do, plus with Tibbs and Ojulari, Dexter Lawrence, it's going to be hard. And then when you send blitzes, different spots, whether it's from the corners, whether it's safeties, linebackers, when you single him up, he's going to eat up an offensive lineman. He really is. So do I expect him to have a better year in terms of numbers? Yes. But I think his production is going to be, he's been on par from the get-go. So he eats up the double teams for the most part, or he commands them, which is supposed to help others be able to go out there and produce.
Which I believe is very true. And like I said, if you don't want to believe it because it's coming out of my mouth, this is an actual coach. He's coached football for many, many years. He's been coaching football for almost as long as I've been on this earth. So, I mean, this is a guy that knows his stuff. And I'm telling you, I'm actually going to show you right here in the beginning until Lou comes on. I'm going to show you a little something about him that many people don't see, because a lot of the fans, they just look at money and stats. They don't look at the actual player. They just look at money and stats and don't look at and see exactly what goes on in those trenches to allow people to get those sacks and to get those plays and to get those stats. You got to think, what happened to this defense to where Leonard Williams went from 6.5 sacks? Went from 11.5 sacks down to 6.5. You know what happened? Dalvin Tomlinson and B.J. Hill left. Because you got to remember, he put up 11.5 sacks, and our edge rushers, they weren't even Lorenzo Carter or Zimenez. It was Carter, Coughlin, Lalos, and Fackrell. And then Fackrell got hurt. So he was doing this with like Cam Brown and them on the field in 2020. It was just that the presence of Dalvin Tomlinson having to be double teamed and BJ Hill having to be double teamed, that he was freed up on a lot of plays and he was able to get in the backfield. Shout out to the chat. Let me get into the chat a little bit. Miz, what's going on? I didn't even see Miz come in. Miz, I put the link in the Big Blue Crew chat if you want to come on, bro. What's up, Joey? Vinny G
What up,
says
Miz?
Kayvon is going to be a beast. He said the man is different, just way too quick in power. Big year for Leo Aziz and KT. I hope so. He says, hey, Pat, did you read the New York Giants offensive lineman coach Bobby Johnson article? Yes, I did. Miz, he says, love Leo from day one. People who watched the ACTGM, not Google stays, watch the GMC. Leo plays a big time part on that field. Around defenders. Now we got edges. He's going to be a monster. True. Tudo says salute to Dallas. But coach, I just want you. I just want to go through a little bit of film with you. We'll do that tonight.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Oops, I messed up. Here we go. But this is a little bit of film here. I just want to go through a couple of his plays. Now, as you see that he was on the edge, he's one-on-one with Villanueva, who was not a bad defensive lineman. One-on-one, this dude is not being stopped. He got to the quarterback right there.
Bring it back a little bit. Bring it back. Now, the one thing you want to look at is right off the bat, look at how he attacks Villanueva's hands. So you control that, and then he's underneath him, and he's controlling him. So now he has leverage on him, which now keeps him off balance and then drives him back. And then he's trying to work to get skinny, which is trying to split the double team. And then when the guard fights off, he has control of his hands. So Villanueva can't get control of him. He can't get into the middle part of his body.
Exactly.
So now,
that's what he's talking about right there.
He controls him. He's driving him back right into Big Ben's lap, and he makes a play. You can go ahead.
Exactly.
Get his ass.
So
pause.
Right. Get his ass. There you go. There you go. Got him. Come in, Ben.
Yep. Get his jersey.
Right.
Big Ben.
And guess who's back there with him?
Retired.
BJ Hill.
So when a defensive lineman has control of an offensive lineman like that, he's done. He's done. There's not much he can do. He's going to need help. The only other thing he can probably do if he can gain control of himself is if he can work his way down the middle part to his legs. But then again, that's going to put him in an off-balance situation if the defensive lineman really still has control. But if he can't do that, that's the result of the play.
Right. And what that does is that he can't anchor down and put his hands inside your shoulder pads and then start controlling you. You get hands on the offensive lineman and you get underneath their pads, they're done. And it's about balance. Shoot, if I get enough balance on one of these offensive linemen, I'll be able to do something. I'm nowhere near as strong as these guys, but balance plays a huge part when it comes to the trenches on both sides.
Exactly. Trench warfare is vital to the success of anything that you do on the offensive or defensive side of the ball. And, that's why I say if Leo can get singled, I don't see many offensive linemen in this league, especially interior offensive linemen. I don't see many that can handle him. I really don't.
And that was a tackle that he did that too.
Yeah.
That was the tackle.
And they call him the lion because he's cat quick for a big guy.
Right. So that's why they call him the big cat.
So if he can attack the outside shoulder of any interior offensive lineman, especially getting them turned towards the sideline, he has control. He has control because now it's going to be hard for them to, get control, get anchored, get to the middle part of the body, get their hands inside. They have to hope that they can just wash him and ride him out.
So on this play here, you would think that Leo's being controlled, but guess who we're playing? He's smart as well. This is Russell Wilson. You know that he can take off at any time. That's Darnay Holmes right there, by the way. You know that he can take off at any time. So what does he do? He controls his gap. He stands there and waits, and then when he sees that Russell Wilson is cocking the ball to throw, he's like, okay, now I'll release and try to chase him. If he gets to throw off, so what? But Russell Wilson tries to take off. Guess what? Leo Williams was right there.
Right there.
Jay Crowder is
Now,
there.
go back a second, right before he did the spin move. Now, if you look at the spin move, there's one thing that, I've always, from right there, there's always one
Beautiful
thing that
spin move, too.
Trained the defensive lineman to do is when you spin, it's like basketball. You box out. So if you throw that elbow and you attack not the top of the shoulder, but the bottom part of the shoulder, right into the arm, you control him no matter what. It prohibits an offensive lineman from being able to really recover and get control of you. And he does a good job of that. Watch what he does when he spins and his arm, how it gets right into the tackle and it seals him off. Spin, elbow.
See how you put that arm back to stop him? Now,
Exactly.
the only way he would have
That's
stopped
against one
him
of the
was a
best
hold.
tackles at that time in the league, and Dwayne Brown.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And those are the little nuances.
The way you stop him is if he holds him, and he actually did.
Exactly. And those are the little nuances that most everyday fans don't pay attention to. I love that stuff. I love looking at that. The hand fighting, the elbows, the little things, the push-pull to the rips, just little things like that. It just takes me to another level.
Right. And you know what, Coach? This is what they look at. If Leonard Williams doesn't do this 25 times because he's getting paid $20 million, he's a bad player. That's all people want to see right there. And a lot of the times, if you get pressure and make the quarterback throw a bad pass and it gets picked off, that's a better play than a sack.
That to me is more important. Exactly. It's more important than the sack because you change the dynamics of what the offense is doing. You demoralize them and you give your team the ball, especially if it's in a short field. Because right now the offense is in the minus side of the field. And what I mean by is if you look at the yard marker with the arrow pointing back towards the goal line, then that lets you know that's in the minus side as opposed to the plus side of the field.
Exactly. Coach, I can't wait to do these film reviews with you during the season, bro.
Looking forward to it.
But that's the little nuances that people don't look at. All they want to see is this all day. If you're not doing this all game, then you're a bad player if you get paid money, which is terrible. You don't know what's going on until, all right, here's another play. As you can see at the beginning of the play, I'm going to slow it up for you in the beginning. Right here. This is the stunning inside. See how Dalvin Tomlinson is getting up the field on this guy, and he's making him come with him longer than he's supposed to because Dalvin Tomlinson was quick off the line and very strong. Now this allows Williams to dip inside, and he can't get back.
And you see what the guard did. The guard turned and was facing the sideline, which if you're not parallel to the goal line, things like that will happen.
Exactly. This is what people don't see. This is why Dalvin Tomlinson was superior when it came to that year. He allowed people to do exactly that. That guard right there is looking like Hernandez.
And this goes
People
into
don't see this.
This goes into a lot of the grading, and I'm not talking about the sites that are out there. I'm talking about the coaching grading. You sit and you look at little things like that. What do you do for your teammates? Do you sacrifice yourself for your teammates, and does it help the teammates or help the team overall?
And so this is what people don't see. They probably do see it, but they don't care. I care about the stuff like this. Dalvin Tomlinson was so quick, and he's superior. He was super strong, so quick. Look how quick he got off the line and got up the field. It made Simmons hold him longer than he was supposed to, and it allowed Williams to dip in there, and that allowed Williams to get the sack. Because Williams, not only is he big and strong, he's superior quick. That's why he's the big cat. And people did this to us all last year. Just stunned us all last year.
Yep. Look at that. Get his ass.
And like Coach said, when that offensive lineman, his body is
those three had
parallel,
such
and
great
he's looking at
chemistry when they played together in 2020.
And when he's looking at the sideline, when he's seeing coaches, he's in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He's not supposed to be seeing the coach. He's supposed to be looking at goalposts. Wherever they're at, he's supposed to be looking at the goalposts, not the coaches on the sideline. But Dalvin Tomlinson calls that, and they're allowed to get Williams to get one of his 11 and a half sacks.
Mm-hmm.
This is what people are not looking at. Having Kayvon Thibodeau and somebody like that getting pressure up the field immediately like that allows the big cat to do what he does.
Tibbs is going to help a lot for the interior of the line. He really is, because that speed off the edge is just going to force. It's going to create a certain level of fear. Initially, you know, most tackles are not, because you know, he's a rookie. You know, but once you see what he's doing and what he's able to do, and if you go back and look at the film, I mean, the way he plays half the man and controls half the man and gets leverage. You know, it's going to change everyone's perception. And then do you get to a point where you have to give a tackle help, whether it's with a guard or a running back, which takes away from the passing attack?
Okay, so I want you to look at where Leonard Williams is on this play right here. This is Williams, this is Tomlinson, this is Dexter Lawrence. Look where he's at on this play right here.
Got half a bear over there,
So do you know why he was able to slip in there and he's going to make the tackle? This man right here. They had so much respect for Dalvin Tomlinson for forcing his way in there and getting in there. They put two people on him. And you're going to leave Leonard Williams with a tight end. He slips past the tight end, and he's fast enough to get down the line of scrimmage to make the tackle against the run. And
you had him as well as Lawrence right there, because Lawrence controlled the center.
Exactly.
So, you know, it just ate up. And plus with even though they had 4 over there to 3, like you said, they doubled Dalvin, and it opened up in the inside lane. And with that inside lane, that tight end wasn't able to get down and squeeze down and try to wash him down, which gave him a free rush.
And Dexter Lawrence, even though he didn't get much push, he did his job. He mirrored that offensive lineman and didn't get pushed back. Now, if Dexter Lawrence would have got some push right there, this play would have been hit even faster. But since Leonard Williams is so athletic for his size, there's no way you're blocking him with a tight end. No way. And Dalvin Tomlinson has taken 2 people. And guess what? Last year, they didn't have to do that. Now, did they? This guard right here would have been right here, and Leonard Williams would have been getting doubled by the tight end and Williams right here.
Exactly.
Yep.
And guess what? The way Dexter Lawrence was playing last year, he would have been getting pushed back, and Tate Crowder would have never been right here to stop the run play. And guess what? We would have got gashed for at least 6 to 7 yards. But 2020 wasn't happening that way because of this man right here.
So, yeah, I just love that, the way he knifed in.
Danny Shelton and Austin Johnson couldn't do that.
Nope.
Go ahead, Coach.
No, I was just saying I love that play. I love the way he knifed down, and he exploded. I mean, if you look at it, he exploded right into the running back because he knew this tight end is not going to block me. He's not going to block me. So, and to be honest with you, no, go back, right at their initial stance before the snap. Go back. I'm looking at it, and the left guard told me what's going on in the play. If you go back and look at his head, the way he's eyeing Dalvin, that told me that he's working on a double combo to him. So as far as Leonard Williams, if I'm reading that and I'm looking at that, I'm saying, okay, so it's going to have to be those two. It's either going to have to be those two, or this tackle is coming from me, and I can get him with certain moves, but more than likely he's going to have to come down because the rules say that you have to double the inside to get to second level, and then he's going to have to worry about that tight end. But that inside guard was eyeing right away. He eyed right away, and it's just little things like that. You're looking at the eyes, the head, their body position, little things like that, and that goes into constant film work, which in the NFL they do constantly. And I'm sitting here looking at this for 1 second, and that's the one thing that I noticed. I noticed the left guard is just eyeing Davlin, and that told me, okay, they're working a double.
And so, Coach, if you saw that with just 1 second looking at film, you know damn well Leonard Williams saw it, and that's why he shot like a cannon right out of the plate.
Exactly. So he knew. So it creates, you study the offense's tendencies. What's the down and distance? What do they do on first down in this territory, in this formation? What is this? Like I said, what is that offensive guard? How does he set? Even their 2-point and their 3-point stance. How far is there? Because if you look at him, look at how the left guard and the left tackle are lined up in comparison to the center, and look at their heads. Their heads are looking directly at Dalvin.
Yep.
And that tells me it's going to be a combo.
Yep. And Leonard Williams is looking directly at Trent Williams.
Exactly.
And so if he sees that Trent Williams is not even looking his way, more than likely they're going to double Tomlinson. So look, this is a combo block. And if the defensive lineman, most combo blocks are on a run play.
And it's going to be basic concept, basic inside zone. So you're working the 2 doubles to get to second level to get to the backers. And Leo, if you really look at him, he's actually angled to see that. Right. He's actually angled to see what they're doing. So, he's in the inside shade of the tight end.
Yeah.
But he can read that, and he's reading the heads, he's reading the hands, he's reading the footwork, and right off the bat, he explodes right through that.
Exactly. And none of this happens if these 2 guys' assignment is not Dalvin Tomlinson, because if you leave him one-on-one with an offensive guard, he's getting back there. So you're going to combo block him, and hopefully this guy right here, which is Leonard Williams, is not quick enough to get past your tight end and down the line to tackle him. But unfortunately, he is. If he's not a good defensive end, this play still gets off because Leonard Williams is not good enough to get there.
Now imagine this year with what we have on the outside as well as on the interior. It's going to be hard to really get good double teams with what we do, and then again with Wink's movement, it forces an offensive lineman to almost hesitate and change the angle of his 6-inch step. So
guess what, Coach? Instead of this being Davlin, I think it's going to be Williams this year, and Thibodeau's going to be right here with Dexter Lawrence and maybe Ojulari or whoever they feel can come in and stop the run on a particular play. So with Thibodeau right there, if you do that, it might be even worse because Thibodeau's faster.
Exactly.
So Thibodeau might be able to get back there, might be able to cause a disruption or a fumble or something. Because you still going to have to double team Leonard Williams if he's right here, because he's just as good as Dalvin Tomlinson and taking on double teams. So I can't wait to see this defensive line this year. As long as Dexter Lawrence shows up, we good. All right here.
That's Dalvin.
He's going to come in the screen out of nowhere. Look how fast he shot it in the screen. You didn't even see him. This guy right here was one-on-one with him.
So that must mean it's
shot right past him.
The right guard, and he had bad position.
Right. Leonard Williams ducked underneath him. Got that arm past him. So either you're going to hold me or you're going to let me get to the quarterback. Which one?
Good.
And he almost forced a fumble.
Exactly. That was a good rip under, get control, and attack the top shoulder of the quarterback.
And guess why Leonard Williams was a double team?
Williams recognized that
big old 94 right there.
Then he was able to slide right past him.
Look what Tomlinson did to Seth. People don't understand how much we missed that dude, man.
Yeah, for real, man.
Look what he did to him. Oh, you
want to put
Tomlinson?
Come here.
His hand control. I mean, if you look at the way he controlled and just discarded, he basically had it. Explode into him, get him off balance, drive him back, And then with your hands, even though
Yeah, he just pushed him right to the ground, out muscled him.
Right.
and then you see how
His
he's
physical
discarding him.
strength
Exactly.
just overpower him.
Just overpowered him.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that. Come here. Get his ass. Yeah. Sit down.
It don't. I mean, man, that dude was missed, man.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even
Exactly.
have top outside edge rushers with Leonard Williams. Now look, against the 49ers again. You would have leave him one-on-one. That's Lakin Tomlinson.
Those
He
three
just got a big deal from the
incredible
Jets.
chemistry with each other too. The way they
He set him up. He set him up perfectly because he's
and they
attacking.
pretty much knew where each of them were. They were
Look at
great.
that. One-on-one.
Tomlinson, Lawrence,
You
and
could-
Williams were really good
If you notice,
together as like a trio on that defensive line.
Go ahead, coach.
Cat attacked his outside shoulder to get him off balance.
Mhm.
Because you see how he's leaning towards his left, which
Yep.
opened up. It just opened up the doorway to go into the inside, especially with the guard sliding to his right. So, and again, it goes into one-on-one with
Nice little
most
slide
interior
movement to the
offensive
left.
linemen. Exactly. So, if you're going to do that, if anything, that slide should have been to the left.
And guess what? BJ Hill was a force too. They doubled him.
Exactly.
So you're gonna leave Big Cat one-on-one with Lakin Tomlinson because you think Lakin Tomlinson was good
Yes.
enough to stop him. Remember, this guy just got a big contract from the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Abused him, threw him off. You're holding me, and I still get to your quarterback.
Exactly.
That was a hold, and he still got to the quarterback.
Exactly.
One-on-one, that dude was unstoppable one-on-one in 2020.
And that was good. That was good initial movement to power to speed. Because attacking the outside shoulder, getting him off balance, moving inside, getting the power, and then using your speed to get to the quarterback and still fending him off.
And people don't know how important it is when you do move somebody to the side to get that right arm up and swipe down so he can't reestablish himself and start to block you.
It's so many different things that you can do with that. But yes, you see how he's ripping underneath and he's hooking the arm. When you hook the arm, you get control of him. He can't control you, other than doing one thing, and that's holding you.
There goes the hook.
And when he
hook that arm, is over with.
So even if he didn't get to the quarterback, more than likely the referee is sitting right there. He sees it, straight line. So if he's holding it and you're hooking it, you're sealing the arm. Exactly. So even if he gets away, the quarterback gets to pass off. Guess what? It's coming back because of a holding call.
Right. And look how off balance he got Lakin Tomlinson.
Mm-hmm.
He almost got Lakin Tomlinson in a split.
Yeah, exactly.
So only thing Lakin Tomlinson could do is either hold or let Mullins get hit. And he did both. He held and Mullins still got hit.
Yeah. At that point, he's got no choice but to hold him.
Right. And guess who gets back there with him? BJ Hill. Against a double team, he wound up getting back there.
And notice that when they did the double team, they gave Trent Williams the tackle, the help on Kyler Fackrell with the running back. Instead of, you know what, at least let the running back work inside out technique. You're worrying about Kyler Fackrell as opposed to, you know what, let me eye Big Cat and at least get in his way to help out my guard.
You know what this tells me? That if that running back right there does that little chip block, I think Kayvon Thibodeau can get back there just as quick as Williams could. But if he doesn't, if they both stay there and block double team Thibodeau, that means Leonard Williams or somebody right here is going to be one-on-one. And then Ojulari looks like he could be one-on-one. So even if you try to double block put three guys on these two guys, that means one of these guys is going to be one-on-one. You can have three guys on two here, 2-on-1. He's going to be one-on-one. Or if he goes out for a route, one-on-one. Somebody's going to have to do something.
And if I'm Wink Martindale, I'm noticing this because now I'm saying you're playing 6-on-4. So guess what I'm doing? I'm giving certain movement and I'm bringing somebody, because now with Williams and Tomlinson, look at that alley right there.
Yeah.
With that alley right there, I'm sending somebody, because if I'm a linebacker, depending on what the coverage call is, if I have responsibility for that back and he's blocking like that, then I'm shooting that alley. I'm shooting that alley right with Big Cat, and then guess what? I'm trying to put that quarterback in the hospital. Sorry, I know we're not supposed to say that, but that's how I feel.
And that's what's gonna happen. But yeah.
Look at that.
Somebody's gonna get a 1-1 battle, and we should be able to win most times.
Sit down, get his ass.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm loving the concepts of this defense. It's things that I've always taught, and in terms of movement, pre-snap and post-snap, and then the techniques that you teach the guys. And if you notice, he's also trying to get the ball out.
Right. All right. Now this is another run play. As you can see,
he tried to come down with the tight end on him.
Look at how you really go put Austin Hooper.
Depth on the outside linebacker position too.
You really put Austin Hooper against Leonard Williams
on the down block. No. Because look at what he does.
Serious?
He throws him right into the offensive lineman, and he eats it up.
Yeah. Leonard Williams get paid $20 million. He only got 6.5 sacks, and he's terrible. You don't see what this dude does on every play. You don't see what he does. There goes Dalvin Tomlinson.
Look at what he does to get control on that down block with his hand and arm extension. He keeps him off his body.
Right.
He keeps him off his body, and he has the outside hand, and then he takes the inside hand to swim it over.
Just disposes Hooper like nothing.
Well, tight end is nothing when you come to a defensive lineman like that. I'm sorry.
Right.
Unless you're
if Leonard Williams is as bad as you say he is, that tight end would have got a good block.
Right at Patino.
Only tight end I can honestly say that I can see coming on a down block like that, and not all the time, is Gronk. Is maybe Gronk. Other than that, I can't see most tight ends coming down on a down block like that, because the way he just attacked his outside shoulder, discard, and remember, the tight end is coming down, so he already has outside leverage. And he attacked it. He basically discarded him, attacked the outside shoulder of the tight end on the down block, and then made the play.
Exactly. All right, let me get to the chat real quick. Dallas, what's going on? Ralphie, what's going on? Duran, what's going on, bro? Thank you guys for tuning in. NYG, not Zayd. Thank you all for tuning in. Yeah. Shout out to Super Corporal Light. He says football is not about getting stats; it's the ultimate team. True. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Hit that like and subscribe button for me. It's my first time seeing you in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. We're just looking at a little film on Leonard Williams. Just trying to get a visualization of what this defensive line could turn into. Heavyweight champion of the world. He says, woo! Great analysis of Leo, Big Pat. Him and Sexy Dexy are going to put the hurting on QBs like Tudo does. And for the record, just like me, he does real well with the ladies. Tell him, Jeff. Tell him, Coach.
Exactly.
Shout out to the heavyweight champ. But yeah, sorry players don't do this.
This is masterful. This is just pure mastering your position.
He gets Tom Brady in the Buccaneers. Now he gets to the outside. They didn't show the action for him to get to the outside. But look what he does. Look what he just did to that tackle. Look what he just did to him.
Isn't that
speed to
yeah.
That was Smith. But look what he did to him. He just threw him out of the way.
Damn.
Just threw him out of the way.
That's great leverage.
Smith, he did that too.
That's great leverage, attacking the outside shoulder, exploding into him. You're coming from low to high with your explosion, dropping him back, and guess what? Now he's discarding him straight line to the quarterback.
Jeez.
Sit down.
But he's a sorry player.
That's a pushover
Yeah.
either. Donovan Smith's a good left tackle.
You want to
just push him out.
You
of the
want
way
to
like
cut
it was
Leonard
nothing.
Williams, right? You want to cut Leonard Williams. You want to cut him. The guy that could do that to a good tackle, you want to cut him because he's not getting 20 sacks. Look what he does when he gets one-on-one. Every time that I've shown you that he's been one-on-one, he's embarrassed the guy. He didn't just beat him, he's been embarrassing him. Look how he just destroyed him out the way. He was like a little boy. Look how big that tackle is. Leverage means everything.
Come on now.
Leverage, angle, hand placement.
Oh yeah.
And see, this is movement. This is what I mean by movement. And this is why I love this. I love the games that you play, whether it's with the interior line, with the linebackers, defensive backs, because you force the offensive lineman to try and guess who's coming and who's not. What's the angle? What angle do you have to use to get to the block? Leo wasn't worth the third and fourth pick.
So what third round pick and fourth round pick is going to give you production like Leo is doing right there?
How do you replace him, man?
That's a nice play by Fackrell, too, moving into the inside, allowing Williams to get that easy angle on Donovan.
I mean, like, seriously, how can you?
I
Who
hope
in the
that
third round you getting that's doing this?
I hope because of the quotations he's being sarcastic and
I hope he
agreeing
is
with
too.
our point, because this
There's
right
nobody
now
on the
tells me
roster can
no-
replace him right now. Not at that position.
no third or fourth
Nobody on this
round
current
draft pick.
roster has the skill set that Leo Williams possesses on this defensive line.
You can't replace him. You can't.
I mean, he's fast, he's explosive, he creates havoc, and if in the right system, which I think he's in the right system, he's just going to eat.
Right.
And keep in mind, this is with Kyler Fackrell and Cam Brown on the outside.
Right.
Now
Right.
imagine the outside.
Look how he just bullies people when he gets one-on-one. He just bullies them. He embarrasses them. He's not
I
just
think you
beating
guys
him.
were
He's
right too when you
embarrassing the
mentioned it
guy.
before.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a bad tackle either. Donovan's
Right.
a good tackle in this league, and he really just made him look silly on that play. So you got to
That's
give
not
credit
true.
on the technique and the play right there. And I like what Fackrell did too. You notice Fackrell cut a little bit inside
It
to
was a
allow
stunt.
Williams to get the leverage on Donovan Smith on that play. So I mean, Fackrell actually did a nice little job there, cutting inside just in the right time, so Williams could
Fackrell
go
did
on
a
the
good
outside.
job.
Yeah, it was a good move
Fackrell
by
did a good
Fackrell,
job, but
too.
Smith saw him. Smith saw
like
Leonard Williams. He prepared himself. He
Good
saw him.
communication.
He already sees Leonard Williams coming.
What
But Leonard
Fackrell
Williams
did,
just bullied him.
what Fackrell did right there is what I call he played offensive lineman. He blocked two. He double teamed two guys so Leonard Williams can end up one-on-one.
Okay, Duran. I kind of figured you did.
Okay,
But
thank
that's still
you.
the question. That's still the question. Who could we got in the third and the fourth round that could have gave us that type of production?
Like, how can you replace him, man? How?
He says people don't like the Leo trade because Gettleman did it. Let's get real. Dave did a few good things. He did do a few good things.
He did.
He did do a few good things. Everybody does something. What's
There
going
is-
on, Big Dash Knows?
No, there
Thank you
is.
for
Nobody
tuning
on
in,
this
Big
roster
Dash.
is
Hit
like
that
the
like and
Williams
subscribe button for me.
What's the old
Big
saying? The clock is
Mhm.
correct twice in a day.
Right. But he just embarrasses guys, man. One-on-one, you're going to get embarrassed by this dude.
For what he's done so far with the talent, with the schemes,
Yeah.
and the scheme wasn't that bad, but this is going to be a scheme that I feel is more conducive to what he can do. He's worth every cent. He's worth
Right.
every cent. And in today's market, it's really getting to be where it's not that much. Within the next year to 2 years, $20-25 million for a defensive lineman is not going to be that much.
It's gonna be a discount. And he's just fast, man. That dude's just fast for his size.
He's
I
fast.
remember
He's
we
big.
hit Allen right here.
Look at fat. And then if you notice what he does, he explodes into him.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's not chasing after him. He's flying right into him. So, and that tells me right there the quarterback has deer eyes because he's just
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, quickness.
Now watch this. Jason Kelsey decided that he didn't want to go to Leonard Williams' side and help out. Now look at this. 1-on-1.
He's on skates.
Right. He's gonna even anchor down. You see him try to anchor down at the very last second. But 1-on-1, every 1-on-1 that I've shown you, the dude has been embarrassed.
He knows.
Look at that. Get his hands to the inside and just bench presses him into Carson Wentz.
Pat, highlight Antonio, his second comment at 10:30 p.m.
Antonio says not the price he's worth.
Yeah.
He said he's getting paid top 10 defender, not just interior lineman. He's not a top 10 defender. Well, I'm showing based on what?
Powering on.
If you're only basing it off, if you're basing it strictly off of stats, he does so much more than just get sacks. He's doing so much more. He's causing havoc. He's forcing double teams. He's beating double teams. And he's causing this past year, as Pat has said in the past, double and triple teams. If he's not worth it, offenses are not going to double and triple team him.
Right. And I mean, what else do I have to show? Shout out to Antonio for coming on the stream. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button for us.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Tommy, what's going on, Tommy? He says the coaching really killed us our past couple of seasons. The horrible play calling and leadership was our problem. That is true. Duran, he says, to be honest, Getty messed up all the progress. Go ahead, Jeff.
Would you guys put him on the level? Absolutely.
What?
Would you guys put him on the level of a?
Jeff, you keep going in and out, Jeff.
And now.
Level of who?
I don't know what he said. Would you
put him on the level of Jones or a Jonathan Allen type player they have the similar type of skill sets? Like those guys right there, defensive tackles that can be able to command the double teams in the interior, as well as still be able to get the pass rush up the middle.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll put him on the same level. Only level I don't put him on is Aaron Donald.
Must be messed up.
Yeah, only level I don't put him on.
Some of the other premier defensive tackles.
Yeah, only level I don't put him on is Aaron Donald. Nobody's like Aaron Donald. He said that's fine, but top 10 defender is different. Williams can be top 10 D lineman. He was a top 10 D lineman in 2020. That's why he got the contract. He says he's top 5 interior lineman. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what he's being paid like, right? He said he has the juice for it. He said is he a top 10 defender? That's a little too crazy. He said he's making more than Ramsey. Who would you rather have? I would rather have Leo Williams.
I'm always gonna go
for the defensive lineman.
Go to the trenches first.
Because in the office, no matter what, you can scheme to take a cornerback out. Okay, fine.
Right.
You stay on that island and you play out there, and we're just not going to come to you. He's your decoy.
I agree with that.
And as opposed to a defensive lineman that's moving, coming, the one thing quarterbacks hate is pressure in the face. If it's on the outside, as long as you can keep them clear up front, they can step up and get away from that. But if it's coming up in their face, they
can't do anything about that. No. You got to understand exactly what the market is.
Yeah.
Big Dash says, not sure to discuss, but Leo is better than people give him credit for, but not Donald money. True.
No.
He said hasn't been able to stay off the field. Offense couldn't get a first down. Tony says exactly, Daz. He says Leo doesn't. NYG 22. What's going on, brother? He says Leo doesn't need to be a top 10 defender, but he's definitely top 10 at his position. And that's what we need from him. True. Tony, timing is also a reason why some players get paid more than others. That is very true. Do you think that if Aaron Donald signed a contract the same year as Leo Williams and Aaron Donald signed for $23 million, they would have paid Leo $22 million? What do you think Aaron Donald's next contract is going to be?
He's going to get quarterback money, bro.
That dude's going to get like $32 to $35 million a year. If a Tyreek Hill can get $30 million, what do you think Aaron Donald is going to get? So if Aaron Donald is getting paid $35 million a year and Leo is now only getting paid 22, don't you think that's right where Leo Williams is supposed to be?
Saying Leo over Ramsey.
And to be honest with you, Ramsey has been giving up a lot of touchdowns lately. People are starting to figure him out. I'm taking a defensive lineman over a cornerback.
He's going to get big money on his
because a cornerback. Which would you rather have your defensive line get to the quarterback quickly or try to have Ramsey cover somebody for 10 seconds?
Big money.
Right.
You got to think. Ramsey has Aaron Donald on the field. He has Leonard Floyd on the field. He had Von Miller on the field. The quarterback's not getting that much time to burn you. So that makes his job a hell of a lot easier. Team game. You really think that Jalen Ramsey would be Jalen Ramsey like that if he didn't have people that were rushing that quarterback like that? Because the Jaguars' defense of in the front seven was just as good when they almost made the Super Bowl.
Excuse me a second.
Is Ramsey a very good player? Yes, I think he's one of the best cornerback in the league. But let's not act like the dude is just out there doing it by himself. Exactly, Duran.
Concept. It's always a team concept. They all work together. I mean, let's not act like that's what I'm saying, that, it's only strictly that. They work together. They need each other. But in the scheme of things, if an offense wants to, I've coached both sides of the ball, and I've done it. I've taken a receiver, and I said, this week, you're going to play the dummy. You're going to play the decoy. I need you to keep this guy occupied. And a lot of receivers will say, okay, coach, you got it. And that's what they do. And now I've taken that one player out of the game. You say play the deep third? Okay, fine. Go play the deep third. I got the underneath. I got the mid-range. Even if it's in the running game, I'm going to attack his side because he's going deep and he's running with the receiver. So now that's an extra man that receiver is blocking without actually physically touching him. So will I take a defensive lineman, a defensive lineman that gets pressure on a quarterback in his face, disrupts the offense over a cornerback who's pretty much going to stay in coverage and stay in phase? Yeah, I will. I will take that first. I'm not discrediting it, but I also know the value, the worth in the scheme of what you're doing. And based on the projected scheme of Wink's system,
right,
he can scheme up a lot of blitzes. He can scheme up a lot of blitzes, a lot of movement. And
let's be honest with you, Coach. You've been watching football for a very long time. This right here, he says, I agree with you guys. The pass rush is a DB's best friend. Exactly. And Chase was cooking Ramsey in that Super Bowl. Let's be honest with you. He was cooking him. But there's only one DB I would take.
He beat him for that play at the end of the game.
There's only one DB that I would take over a great defensive lineman. And that's Deion Sanders. That was probably the only guy that you could put on an island, and it wouldn't matter how long you had him cover. He was still going to cover him. But guess what? If it came down to LT and Deion Sanders, I'm taking that man behind Coach behind Coach Ed all day long.
I will take LT and I will take Reggie White over any defensive backs that are out there.
Right.
Of all time, because of what they do to the offense. They affect the offense not just in the passing game, but in the running game. They control everything. They force double teams. That means it's 11 on 11. So if one player has to take two guys to block him, and you have a quarterback, so now that technically the way I look at it, that's 3 on 1. Now you're now playing what, 10 on 8? So it's always a numbers game. There's different ways you can look at it, but getting back to the scheme of things, if I'm always going to take a defensive lineman, an edge rusher over a cornerback first.
Shout out to Antonio. He says quarterbacks are getting rid of the ball in 2.7 seconds. You can't just do it with a D line, and you can't just do it with a DB either.
Okay,
right.
That's why it's an ultimate team sport. But why they have to get rid of it in 2.7 seconds?
Pressure, and then the other thing is what are defensive linemen always taught? If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. So now you're deflecting the pass. So I get what you're saying, but the defensive lineman gives you more opportunities to create more problems for the offense as opposed to a defensive back. Again, I'm not diminishing a defensive back's worth, especially a great cornerback. But if I can get pressure on a quarterback's face, a quarterback is going to – he really can't see downfield. So what he's going to do, like you said, he's going to try and get rid of it as quickly as possible. Now, if you do that and the receiver is not ready, guess what? You now help your defense. We can get a turnover.
That helps great corners. My bad, Coach. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you're right.
That helps great corners.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that quarterback is able to sit back there for 6 seconds, how many times have you seen a quarterback that can sit there and just stand there and do this for about 5 seconds, not complete the pass?
Mm-hmm.
Rarely ever do you see them not complete it. You want to know why? Because the DB doesn't know where the receiver is going.
Mm-hmm.
So that's extremely hard to keep running around. Why? How do you think Antonio Brown gets so many touchdowns from Ben Roethlisberger? Because he's actually sitting in that pocket all day, shrugging off people. And Antonio Brown, fast ass, just going like this the whole time. And then all of a sudden just takes it off the field and Big Ben just throws it to him. Mm-hmm. Busted plays hurt more. Why do you think they say they don't want the quarterback to get out the pocket?
Mm-hmm.
Because when he gets out the pocket, anything goes.
Yeah, no pass rush at all.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the chat. Let me get back to the chat, and then we're gonna get back into the film a little bit. Timothy, what's going on, Tim? He always come with the crazy stuff. He said, "With Leonard Williams set single sack record with 24, with Kayvon Thibodeau set single season rookie sack record with 16. If we do that, we're going to the playoffs. Sir.
We're going to the playoffs."
He says Reggie White. They call it the hump move, Big Dash. Man, that move was ridiculous. That was pure strength too.
Mm-hmm.
Earl 14 says, take the same amount of money we gave to Galladay and do the same with Dalvin. We win 7 to 8 games. Yep, we do.
Mm-hmm.
We do.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie to you. We do.
Mm-hmm.
He says
That's
Wink has Dex
between them. Okay.
Right. Wink has Dex, Williams, Tibb, Aziz, Beavers, Martinez, Coughlin, Fox, Hinton, Thompson, Evans, Jackson, Flott, Belton, Davidson, Ellis, McKinney, Holmes. There's a lot of talent that Wink has to work with 100%. A lot of dogs. Mm-hmm. That is true. He says since he didn't get to the Super Bowl on the back of Eli Apple, it was the defensive front. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas. He says exactly. Pat Prime took away an entire half of the field. LT was just scary good. No matter the DB, if the guy's got to stay in the receiver's pocket for more than 5 seconds, he's bound to get beat. True. Mm-hmm. And shout out to Dallas for becoming the newest member of the Big Blue Crew. Talking his talk with Big Pat Sports Talk. Yep. Became a member today. I appreciate you, bro. He said that's how we got beat on all those third and longs, right? Couldn't get no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
He said BJ for Billy Price bull spit, right? No pass rush. He said Wink has shaped and molded plenty of talent and drafted great talent with his ability as a coach. And the most interesting of this all, we had the talent with a great coach to guide them and coach them to win. True, Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Bookend tackles, what's going on, bro? But yeah,
pretty much.
Sorry to deter from the film, but coach, that that really kind of chips me when people just say, oh, he's not a top 10 defender, and he's getting paid as much as Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey signed his deal, I think, 2 years before Williams got his deal. You think Jalen Ramsey would be at $22 million right now if he was to sign a new contract? No. It just depends on the time you sign it. The market for DBs now is going to be over 20 million now. What's going on, Chris? What's going on, Big Blue in the Bronx? Tommy says, what about O-line picking up the X Brown? It looks like a competitive group going into camp.
Did we definitely
I have to
pick him
see.
up?
I don't think, did we sign him? I don't know. I
No,
haven't seen anything.
I know there's talk about it because he was rated as one of the top 5 interior offensive linemen, but he was released by the Browns for money purposes. So
yeah,
I
JC
spoke about
Tretter.
that.
If we do sign JC Tretter, that means Feliciano's probably going to play left guard. I don't know if they're comfortable with Feliciano playing center. Then I don't think we'll sign him. But hey, if we sign Tretter, that makes our line even better. Exactly. So you said Tretter is going to be expensive. Tretter is good, but very expensive. That is true, Alex.
No, exactly.
So I don't know if we'll be able to afford him.
But you can also probably sign him,
push back his money. Yeah, push his money back too. So
he will be expensive if we try to sign him.
Let me see. Jerry Alexander just signed 4 years for $84 million.
So 4 years, $84 million. That's $21 million a year. So you think Jalen Ramsey is going to be at $21 million? No, he's probably going to be around 24, 25, which he will be making more than what Leo. It just depends on when you sign your contract. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. That means our offensive line would be more solid. That'll take away one of the questions I would have about the team, which is center. So I would definitely agree with them signing JC Tretter.
Yeah.
It's just hopefully that Feliciano understands that, hey, look, you have to play left guard because Feliciano wants to play center. It's on record that he wants to turn his career around and play center. So I don't know.
And Shane has shown that he's smart enough to find ways to get the money.
He'd be an upgrade.
He can also cut certain guys. Some may not want to hear it, but you got Slayton too that you can also, cut his money. So, there's ways around. If you really, really want him, you'll get him. They'll get him. So it's just a matter of what price and how badly do they want him if he wants to come here.
Right. And Alex makes a good point. He said when the Giants signed Feliciano, the social media tweeted out center John Feliciano, not offensive lineman, strictly putting out the way that he will be the center when he comes in. So probably no Tretter, unfortunately. He says we have a way better O-line group going into camp than we have ever had. In a matter of fact, it's the best talent all across the board. True, we haven't had talent like this at the offensive line in over 10 years. So I'm not gonna be mad if we don't if we can't get JC Tretter, and I'm not gonna be mad if we do get JC Tretter. You said Feliciano will be a captain this year. I can see it.
Bobby Johnson's been praising him a lot too.
Yeah, no, I mean he knows the system, so and he wants to be good at the position. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. But we're gonna get a couple more players with Leo, and then we're gonna cut the film off. But I can't see how you guys can come at Leo the way you do without looking at film. Every player that he's been one-on-one with, he's absolutely embarrassed him. He's not just beat him, he's embarrassed him. Now, did he get a sack there? No. So when it comes to you grading people on stats, he didn't do a good job right there because he didn't get a sack.
Where did the ball go? The ball went into the ground.
Right.
So it's not even going towards a defensive back or anything of that nature. It's disruption. That's a quarterback hit, and that's ball into the ground. So that takes away a down in them possibly doing something.
And guess what? It's going to lead to good field position because they're going to have to punt the ball from there like their own 10. So you're telling me that the stats people, just because he's not getting a bunch of stats, that this is a bad job because he didn't get the sack?
Yeah.
Do you know a lot of his plays are like this? A lot of his plays are just like this. He's working so hard to get back there, and they just have to throw it into the dirt. A lot of his plays are just like that.
Quarterback hits are always, sometimes even more deadly than a sack because you're hitting the quarterback, and quarterbacks don't like getting hit. And eventually they're going to get gun shy, and guess what? They're going to put that ball in harm's way.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
He said he's always wanted to be the responsible one to call a pass protection. That is true. He said even if we sign him to a 2-3 year deal, I think we can do it. It's just that I think they believe in Feliciano, to be honest with you.
That's fair.
I would choose Treader as well, but maybe Feliciano's showing them something. He says, I love Leo, but he should have been paid the season he got traded. I mean, yeah, but it doesn't matter. He's paid it. He's on the team, and I'm showing you that he does a lot for this team. Tommy for Tommy, he says, Beavers, McFadden, Martinez will get him open. They will have to spread out the blocking due to Aziz and Thibodeau. Right. Leo is the king of almost. I mean that in a good way. Right. He almost gets to the quarterback every time without a bunch of talent around him. So I can't wait to see what he does with Aziz and Thibodeau around him. Not the season he got the 11 sacks. He says you can add Randy Moss in 10 prime years on the Giants or Deion Sanders 10 prime years on the Giants. Who you got? Be honest with you, I'm always going to go with the defender. Me personally, I'm always going to go with the defender. I'm going Deion Sanders if I had to choose.
What did Bobby Johnson call him? A jerkbag?
Yeah. Yeah, QB hits are very important. He says, I'd rather have 0 sacks for pressure every snap. Exactly.
Oh, I can say if that ball is up in the air, a sack gives them another chance. But if that ball is in the air and we can get it, I'm happy. As a DC, I would because if the ball's in the air, you either can pick it off, deflect it. They only have one opportunity, and that's to complete it. Other than that, it's to the defense's advantage.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah, shout out to everybody from Twitter that's been coming on. But I want people, this is something that they didn't notice in this play. You see the ball going to the ground, but watch this. That dude was wide open. That dude was wide open. That's who he was trying to throw it to, but Williams got there so fast that he couldn't stand there and throw it. So imagine if he had 2 more seconds, just like 5 more seconds a second. He probably gets
Lawrence did that a lot last year.
He probably gets that ball to a wide open receiver, and it may have been a first down. Who knows? All right, here's another play. Now,
beautiful.
This is why he is paid, people.
Outside to the inside.
Splits a double team and gets to the quarterback and sacks him. He split a double team.
Yeah.
Got to a quarterback and sacked him. This is why Leonard Williams is paid. Because if it was one-on-one, that dude, he already embarrassed him. It's already over. He's choking him. That's a hold. Number 73 tries to come over and help him because he saw he got embarrassed, and he splits both of them. He's actually got leverage on both of them, coach, with both arms. He hooks in him, and he's pushing him back with this arm and gets between both of them and gets to the quarterback.
That right hand. Go ahead.
Go ahead, coach. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying the right hand. If you look, he sets him up, attacks him inside, gets the right hand, and hooks the offensive lineman's right arm. So now he controls him. So he can't really do much other than trying to watch him and push him into the center. And what does he do? He's already got the center, as I said earlier, facing the sideline. When an offensive lineman
Mhm.
is like that, and the defensive lineman has that, you have a great advantage. I was taught by one of the best defensive linemen at a small school level, and he always told me, if you can get your hip, at least your hip, to the offensive lineman out of your explosion, get your head to his hip, you're going to beat him. And that's what he did.
So not only is this guy strong, powerful, and fast, he knows how to use his hands with the best of them. He used his right arm, hooked him, he's done. And he feels that number 73 is coming over to block him. He uses his left arm to push his arm down. And he got leverage on two people. He has leverage on two people. He got held by two people and still got back to the quarterback. That's what Leonard Williams brings to the table.
And Antonio, exactly. Two penalties. And when you watch film and you get graded for that. The defensive coordinator will give you positives because you drew penalties. So that's why it's important to really look at the full context, not just stats. What do they do in the context of the play? Does he draw a penalty? Can he draw possibly two penalties? Yes. Does he get to the quarterback? Yes. Does he beat the offensive line? Two offensive linemen? Yes. So those are all positive checks that goes into your grading, which come contract time, guess what they also do? Those defenders or the players go back and watch the film and they take those notes. So when they go for contracts, they can say, I did this on this play, this on this play. You guys graded me here. This is what I did. This is why I'm worth the money.
Exactly, Coach. Can't put it better. To the chat real quick. He says the best part about the D-line we have and the play calling, because with some of the blitz calls, we will drop some D linemen from time to time. Imagine dropping Aziz or Tibb in coverage, McFadden or Beavers. True.
That's true.
Dallas says, where did LW go to school? Meaning Leonard Williams. He said, that's right. USC. Fight on. Yes, he is a Trojan. I liked him when he was coming out of USC. But you mean to tell me that somebody that can do this is not worth money?
It's all about the stats. That's why they only care about the stats.
How many defensive tackles in the league you see doing this?
Not many.
Aaron Donald. What about maybe Cam Hayward for the Steelers?
Chris Jones could do that.
Chris Jones. The Grady Jarrett from the Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons.
Jonathan Allen.
What's his
Jonathan
name?
Allen. Yeah.
What's his name with the Saints?
Clark.
What's his name with the Saints?
Cam.
I can't think of his name with the Saints.
Cam Jordan.
Yeah, it's Cam Jordan.
Cam Jordan is a defensive end.
But he sometimes he'll line up. He'll line up sometimes on the inside. Yeah.
Kenny Clark on the Packers can do that too. He helps collapse the inside.
So and remember,
he's nowhere near as effective as a Leonard Williams. Nowhere near as effective.
Pat, always remember, even though they're different, odd and even fronts, they're both considered in Cam Jordan and Dexter and Williams. They're both considered defensive ends. So that's why I look at it like that. Even though it's a 3 front versus a 4 front, you can bump down, bump outside. We've seen Williams bump outside. So, it's versatility. So
I'm telling you, man, this is what this guy brings, bro.
That's why I'm
excited. This is the guy you say you want to get rid of. This is the guy you say you want to get rid of.
You do that, you really disrupt the whole potential of this defense. Because who's going to replace that? If it's only because of money, I mean, he has the money. It is, you don't like the money, okay. To me, he's worth it. He's worth it just by watching this and grading him on these little things. And man, I would sit and watch a whole game and grade him. Buckner is better than him.
DeForest Buckner is really good. I would put him up there. Buckner is.
Could I say
for the Colts? DeForest Buckner is good as well.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm not. Do I think they're probably Close, yes.
Yeah, they're very close.
They're,
And
better
I think
than
Buckner is getting paid more than what Leonard Williams is.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the price tag. I mean, but I look at the whole market in the whole NFL. I mean, what is what's his name? It's getting what, 50 million? Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is getting 50 million.
I mean, if we're gonna
50.
If we're gonna sit here and nitpick at price tags, he's only won one Super Bowl. He's only won one Super Bowl. He does some amazing things. He's dynamic, but he's only won one Super Bowl. If that's the case, then why isn't Tom Brady getting 75 million? And I can't
Look what Aaron Rodgers
did. Right. Why is Tom Brady not getting 100 million?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
because he has 7 of them things.
So if we're going to nitpick on the price tags, I just, like we said earlier, Leo, he came in at that point. What's up, Lou? Thanks for earlier, bro. I really appreciate you.
What about Vita Vea? Him too. I forgot about him on the Bucs. He's a really good defensive tackle as well.
Vita Vea.
Mm-hmm.
He's NYG22 says exactly. Leo is a beast. The Giants are about to let him go. We need players like this. All players get paid. Look at some of the money. Look at the money some of these bum QBs getting paid. True,
yeah.
Tom Brady is not a better quarterback than Mahomes is right now. But he just won a Super Bowl. He's the last quarterback to win a Super Bowl out of the last 2. And he's beaten Mahomes twice in the AFC Championship.
My argument was, if Mahomes is getting 50 million, then why Tom Brady has how many Super Bowl wins? I mean, that's what we grade him on. If we're grading everything on Super Bowl wins, Tom Brady has what, 6? Mahomes has
7.
Only 1. No, yes.
He has 7. He got 6 with the Patriots, and he just won 1 with the Buccaneers. He has 7.
Okay. I thought he had. My count was off. But still,
it's ridiculous. Still, even if he only had 6, he still got 6 times the rings that Mahomes had.
Okay, but yes, Mahomes is talented. I'm not saying he's not. I can't sit here and say he's not. He's dynamic. I mean, we can go over the top, but the bottom line is Super Bowl wins. I mean, they grade quarterbacks over Super Bowl wins. And if Tom Brady is the quote unquote GOAT, then why isn't he getting 100 million? That's what these are what the markets are. So if defensive linemen are in 20, 25 million, and Aaron Donald's about ready to push that over to 30,
right?
I mean, we have to factor in that the money is starting to come back in. The TV contracts are going to come in, so everyone is going to eat. They're going to eat. So and then soon enough, we're going to sit here and say, "Oh, Leonard Williams is cheap." At
right.
20, 24, $25 million. He's cheap. We're getting a bargain rate right now because he's signed for what, another 3-4 years?
Right. And you wanna question that?
And if you let
Kenny
it go,
Galladay, everybody was go ahead, Coach.
No, go ahead. Great.
Everybody was complaining about Kenny Galladay's contract. Oh, he's getting $18 million a year. $18 million ain't shit.
Not in today's market
compared to receivers right now. Your top receiver in the league is getting $30 million. If Galladay turns out to be good, we got Galladay at a discount. Christian Kirk is getting paid $23 million a year. Christian Kirk, who was a third receiver at best with the Cardinals. So everybody else complaining about Kenny Galladay's contract. Oh, he's making too much money. You can't say that now because the top receiver in the league now is almost making double.
Mm-hmm.
So he's actually at a discount. That's what the market does. It's all about when you become a free agent. If Kenny Galladay became a free agent this past year, he probably would have been getting $25 million a year.
Yeah, Watson does have an elite contract.
Yeah, he has a supremely elite contract. Let's see what he does.
But he has the talent. Talent-wise, he's definitely better than Tom Brady. But in the end, Brady is
You want to base? I don't know how they base it. I don't know how they base it, Coach. I guess people just base it on how they feel that day. Because if you say anything, well, the money really doesn't matter because Aaron Donald is going to get $35 million. So you still say it's the price tag, even though Aaron Donald, who you're comparing him to, is going to be making 12 million, 13 to 15 million more dollars than what Leonard Williams is making. But you still would say that you should get rid of Leonard Williams. My question is to the people who want to get rid of Leonard Williams and say that he's not worth the money, what do you get in return? Who do you bring in? If this line doesn't have Leonard Williams last year, how bad do you think this defensive line would have been last year without Leo Williams?
The defense would not have been no, because all they're going to do then is they're just going to double team two guys, and it would have been Ojulari. Who else would
That's
we
it.
have double team? Yeah,
you take Leonard Williams off that squad. You got Dexter Lawrence, who wasn't living up to expectations. You got Ojulari, who was getting sacks because of Leonard Williams. I'm just gonna be honest with you. That dude was taking double and triple teams. And you got Quincy Roche, Zimenez, and Carter.
Exactly. So I can't see that because he does so much more to the defense than just sacks. It's I'm gonna go back to when the old school days. It's like Lawrence Taylor. Okay, if you took Lawrence Taylor off that defense, it changes the whole dynamics. Would they have been good? Yes, but not elite. Why? Because teams automatically came out of the huddle and they looked for 56. Is he on the left? Is he on the right? Is he playing inside linebacker?
Right.
What is he doing? But he take him out.
Petrified of the man.
You take him out. Now, I'm not saying Leo Williams is to that level, but what I'm saying is when you take that talent out, it does something to your defense. It makes it easier to control. Would have been ugly without Leo. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it'd have been real ugly without Leo last year. You gotta think when that man hurt his elbow, I was like, it's over with if he ain't playing the rest of the season. We're gonna get blew out 40-0. But he came back and played. Right, Big Dash. What's going on, Lou?
Trying to kill me.
You look beat. Lord have mercy. But we sit here talking about
into my apartment next week, and I gotta pick my brother up this weekend who's moving into town. But they're trying to kill me, and I got my kids. Boy, but they're trying to kill me.
Man, he should have just went to sleep, man. I was probably gonna do like an hour 30 anyway.
I live up to my word, sir. There's very few people that still do that in this fucking world, but I happen to be one of them.
But we speak your language. We were talking about the Big Cat having a good season this year. We was doing some defensive line plays. We only got a couple of plays left. I'm gonna get into those last couple of plays, and then I'm gonna let you do your spiel on the defensive line. But I did this stream because I did a video earlier, and there's a lot of people that attack Leo Williams because he's getting paid $21 million a year, and they say he's not worth the money. And I'm trying to show people that Leo Williams brings more than just sacks.
You got to remember that a lot of the people who be saying this stuff just watch a game every now and then. They haven't even played or haven't watched film or, never played organized football, like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Half of these people just tweeting or posting or whatever just to be involved in the mix. Most of them don't really know the game. You know what I mean? So I had to tell myself that a lot when I see comments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he said Harry Carson said LT added 3 to 4 years to his career with all the extra punishment he didn't have to take as the opponents was focused on Lawrence Taylor.
You
Yeah,
know
that's
who
true.
loved Lawrence Taylor? Leonard Marshall.
Yep.
Yep.
Because he lined up right next to him and they gave him so many opportunities to go one-on-one. And I'm looking at that film right now and I'm sitting there saying, right now, what you got up, Pat, and I'm saying to myself, well, this is easy. This is easy. This is
They
easy.
got 2 hats on Leo off gate and possibly a third.
But they only have one
Oh,
set of
right.
eyes on. They only have
Yeah, they only got one set of eyes on him.
The center is feeling him to ride him to the guard, but they only have one set of eyes.
And
that's
every
why-
time Leo gets one-on-one,
Look at
he
that.
embarrasses the player. He doesn't just beat him; he embarrasses him. Look at this.
Right guard tries to anchor. He's off balance, and all he does is he just push pulls.
Yeah, push pull.
He just lets him get off balance, and now you just discard him, push pull, boom, there you go, and you're into the quarterback.
Every time he gets one-on-one with somebody, coach, he embarrasses the player. And he's going to get a lot more of these opportunities because now he has Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari on the edge. He embarrasses the player. He doesn't just beat him, he kills him.
And it's a 3-man rush. And you had 3 sets of eyes.
Carter Coughlin.
Exactly. 3 eyes going to Carter Coughlin. 3 eyes. And
right.
If I'm the OC, I'm asking the offensive line coach, why are we sliding 3 to 49?
Right.
You know, so and you just made it so easy for Leo to just destroy the offensive guard. So Frank,
what's going on, Frank? Super Corporal Light says, I've never understood why fans care about what the players make. Trust me, the owners can afford it and the cap can be manipulated. True.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Frank? Bookend says Leo had 4 less tackles than Aaron Donald with less help. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Now we're going off the stats. And 4 less tackles. So
with
less tackles.
Exactly. So that tells me everything. And Donald is on a Super Bowl winning team. So
he says, to be fair, Super, the money matter when you can't keep your number 1 quarterback. He leaves to your rival out of spite. First of all, just that Leonard Williams contract is not the only contract that's on the team. And second of all, most people were saying they wanted to get rid of Bradbury anyway. He's too old. He lost a step. But now all of a sudden that we lose him, now all of a sudden, oh, you overpaid Leo, or that was a bad move.
The fans be way too worried about what's going in these people's pockets. Now, the day these players start spending bread on you, then you should start watching their money. Until then, mind yours. That shit is crazy. Like, you a fan of the game, right? Why are you watching their purse?
Can I say something? I mean,
go ahead, Coach.
The money that they're getting in the NFL, it really doesn't come from per se the stadiums and so on and so forth. It comes from the TV contracts.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, as long as people are watching and the TVs and the networks are showing it, they're going to eat, and it's just going to keep raising and raising and raising. And now that they're trying to go global a lot more, you're going to get the dollars over there, which is going to raise the per average salary of these players. So to me, it's, look, I'm not worrying about what a player, bless you, I'm not worrying about what a player makes. I mean, he makes his money, go get your money, bro. Do what you got to do. If somebody wants to give you that money, get it. It's just like any of us. If we can get the money, we're going to get the most money out of our jobs. That's their job. And if they can get it, more power to them.
So, to go against what Durant said, who would you rather have on this team, Bradbury or Leo Williams?
Leo.
Facts all day. All day.
So you're going to complain about Leo Williams making money because we lose Bradbury? Who would you rather have? So based on what you just said right there, you're saying you'd rather have Bradbury than Leo Williams.
Pat, it goes back to that film that you showed with the Eagles on the 10-yard line. And
right.
Leo got penetration and Wentz passed the ball. Where did the ball go? And there was an open man sitting right there. it went right into the ground. A defensive lineman can disrupt so much more than just getting sacks.
He can bat the ball. He can create hurries, pressures. He can
Quarterback
force
hits.
errant throws.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's more than a defensive back that can sit in somebody's pocket and stay in phase, and then play the hands and play the eyes. And if he gets his head around, then he can probably get an interception. But if he's a decoy, you're just sending him deep, and he's out of the play. So that's one player that you took out of the play. We're a defensive lineman, 2, 3 guys looking to block him. Like Lou just said, deflect the ball. I mean, it's.
You know why I'd rather have Leo? Just off this principle alone, Leo is more dominant at his position than what Bradbury was, and he's at a way more important position.
Facts, Pat.
I'm taking a great defensive lineman over a cornerback any time of the week, any day, any Sunday, every day of the week. The only cornerback that I would take over a great offensive lineman is Deion Sanders. That's the only corner I would take over a great defensive lineman.
Not now. He's too old.
But remember, Pat, we said LT and Reggie White are the only 2 that we wouldn't take him over.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. If that man's name is LT or that lineman's name is Reggie White, I'll be honest with you, a prime Bruce Smith.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So defensive lineman, trench warfare, it doesn't matter if it's defensive line, offensive line. If you don't have that, there is not anything any other skill position can do. They can't.
What about a prime Darrelle Revis?
No, if I'm not taking him over, if I'm not taking prime is any cornerback, I'm taking prime regardless of who it is. There's not a cornerback that I would take over prime. Not even in their best day. Revis was close, but prime, no. There's nobody close to what prime was.
No, I don't mean that in terms of better than prime, but like when you come to defensive lineman and a cornerback.
No, that's what I'm telling you. If I'm not taking prime over LT, I'm definitely not taking Revis.
I'm talking about the normal, like not like an LT or Reggie White. I mean like a Bruce Smith or those types of defensive linemen.
No,
you still would take
the only cornerback I would consider to take over a prime good defensive lineman, a great pass rusher. The only one I would even consider is Primetime Sanders. That's it. Revis was great. I love Revis. I love Revis Island. But you really think that I would take him over Aaron Donald? I wouldn't even take Revis over DeMarcus Ware in his prime years. You know how cold DeMarcus Ware was?
No, he was good.
In his prime years?
Yeah, no, I remember.
Antonio says that's not analytically true. At 11:16.
He said it's not analytically true. Okay.
Go to 11:15. Our cap at the end of the day has been used incorrectly. Okay.
I wasn't arguing about Leo's money. I don't have a problem with his money. I was saying that the cap can be manipulated to a point until you can't.
And sometimes you're gonna lose sometimes you're gonna lose soldiers in the battlefield. But if you're sitting here telling me that you're complaining about the money Leo Williams made because we lost Bradbury?
Bradbury? Playoffs?
Right.
Half
the fans are saying they wanted him gone anyway because he was getting burnt last year.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden Bradbury is the savior because he's gone.
But he's not a
Where did that
zone.
come from?
He's not a zone corner, and they had him playing zone. What do you expect? But they'll argue against that too.
Do you know that great defensive lines make your defense? It makes the defense.
What we have to remember is that the Giants fan base is the craziest fan base in all of the sports. Like, we are the same fans who will be cheering one week and the next week be calling for everybody to be fired. Like,
That's true. We've done it already.
They did it draft day.
No,
the first draft, Joe Shane could do no wrong.
I'm not even talking about that.
The second day drafted Wan'Dale Robinson. He's worse than Gettleman.
Antonio 11-19.
What'd he say?
He says corners.
A
I guess he was
war.
trying to.
It's war, just like in baseball. Wins against what?
Oh, is 0.51 while interior linemen account for 0.18. Okay, do the Rams win the Super Bowl without Aaron Donald? Because they had Ramsey. If Aaron Donald's not playing in that Super Bowl, do the Rams win?
Okay.
Because I remember Ramsey gave up a huge touchdown in that game and got burnt a couple of times in that game. Do the Rams win that Super Bowl without Aaron Donald closing it out for them? Because when Aaron Donald wasn't playing to Aaron Donald's level, that defense was struggling until those last two drives. Until they pushed him out of bounds and they pissed him off. Who closed out the game for the Rams?
Aaron Donald.
And he let it be known.
Well, case in point, Pat, to go off your point too, remember when the Giants won the Super Bowl those 2 times? They had not a great secondary, but the reason why that defense was so good, because of the pass rush. And that's no disrespect to Corey Webster or Aaron Ross. Antrell Roll was a great leader. Kenny Phillips or back then with Jabril Wilson and those guys. They were good players for what they did.
But we were led by the pass rush.
Exactly. The pass rush is what got the job done. They were able to get enough pressure to make it easier for the secondary to make those plays when they were
I didn't even know you were here, Jeff.
Oh, what's going
What's
on,
going
Lou?
on?
How you doing, bro?
What's up, bro?
Sorry, I've been having connection issues. I just fixed the problem, though.
Right, super. So you mean to tell me that that's a hypothetical, what I said about Aaron Donald? If they didn't have Aaron Donald in that Super Bowl, they would have lost. That's a hypothetical. So Aaron Donald did not close that game out against the Bengals in the Super Bowl. He didn't close that game out. He didn't come up with like 2 or 3 sacks in the last 2 drives.
They pissed him off too. I forgot somebody swung at him or something, and they was like, "Oh, you done fucked up."
Even the announcer said, "Oh my God, why would you do that?"
Yeah.
Aaron Donald was asleep.
And people that want to defend Jalen Ramsey, if Joe Burrow had enough time to see him, he would have seen a streaking
Ramsey was burnt.
Chase.
That
Yeah,
was
he
a
would seen a
touchdown.
Chase. He would seen Chase streaking down the field for a game-winning Super Bowl touchdown that would have won the game for the Bengals. He just didn't see it at the last second. So, I mean, there's the difference right there. Ramsey has been getting beat a lot more lately, but Donald is still the same Aaron Donald he's been. That monster in the middle.
Tonio, I think you're one of those guys that's just super literal and just want to be super to the point. No, you cannot say that because we never know. We'll never know. But come on, man. Observation tell you and logic tells you that if that dude didn't wake up, the Bengals would have came back and won that Super Bowl.
Antonio, I've been coaching since 1981. I understand about analytics, stats, however you want to categorize it, in X's and O's. But in the end, as a coach, you give me all of that, and I will look at how the game is going, and I have a feel, and I'm going to adjust to that. Because if my game plan, if my analytics, my X's and O's, they're getting their asses whooped, but I can see that a player is out there producing, I can adjust to that. And I can put that into play. So I get where you're coming from, but just like with your word, analytics, I get it. But what is more important, a defensive lineman or a cornerback? If we're gonna compartmentalize the two, what's more important? Which position can do more damage?
Football is won in the trenches, baby.
Exactly.
And great job if you did do that, Antonio. That's a great accomplishment. You said I walked on a D1 and made practice squad, so I have good knowledge of football, Frank. I know.
You understand what we're talking about.
Shout out to you for that. Then know as a player that sometimes none of that shit matters. You got to dig deep and say, I'm going to beat the man in front of me, period. You know that just like everybody else who's ever suited up, lined up, and played. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it ain't about the playbook. It ain't about nothing other than you ain't going to beat me today, period.
What's the old Bill Parcells saying? They can know what we're going to run, what we're going to do, but can they stop it? And
Right.
that's why I go back to, I get analytics, I get all that, I get everyone has knowledge of the game, but sometimes when I break down and I look at this film, who is doing, and I grade it, who's doing more? Because again, I can take a cornerback out of the game. I can take, if he's guarding one guy man to man. By the way, the emphasis on D-line the Giants have is outdated, in my opinion. In today's NFL, okay, you go back to 2.7. I can go back to, you know what? If you get your hands up in the quarterback's face, how many times have we seen the pass deflected, knocked down, or the pressure gets there and within that 2.7 seconds and the ball is incomplete? Exactly. You also need the pressure. So that's why it goes back to they need each other hand in hand. But if we're going to compartmentalize each point, the defensive line is always going to be more important. But to be honest with you, they both need each other. There's no way around it. They both need each other.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vincent. I ain't gonna mess up your last name. Sabia. Okay. NFL has changed with 4 receiver sets and all that, but teams that can back, teams that can block. I said black. Teams that can block / pass rush usually end up going the furthest. That is true.
Trench warfare.
So let's talk about this a little bit. I'm glad Lou is on here right now because this is his expertise as well. Duran brings up a good point. Let's go back to the KC Tampa Bay Super Bowl. The defensive line won that game.
100%.
Everybody knows, and Antonio, I know you know.
Mm-hmm.
The game is won in the trenches. The game is won in the trenches. I don't care how great your DBs are. If that quarterback can sit back there all day and wait for his receivers to break their routes to get open, you're gonna get tortured if you don't have any pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
Today's NFL, especially because we got more mobile quarterbacks today than ever. So you don't create pressure and them receivers are covered. Guess what? He's gonna break one for a first down or at least 5-6 yards and get out of bounds or slide.
True. The Bengals were 4 points from winning the Super Bowl, and they had Eli Apple at corner 2.
Yeah.
Yes, Deion Sanders had a great front 7 in San Francisco and Dallas. Not good, great. Now the Falcons, they had a pretty good defense as well. But Deion Sanders was on a different level. The only one close to him as far as DB I could think was Rod Woodson and Revis. And Charles Woodson was pretty good to a certain extent too, but he wasn't nowhere near the level of a Deion.
Nah, but them boys hit. The Woodson boys hit. Deion didn't like the tackle.
Yeah, Deion wasn't a force supporter, and he didn't like coming up for the run. He would have preferred to go into coverage. So that's why it's also a matter of scheme, putting the guys in the right scheme. But if I'm looking at their abilities and what they do, Leo Williams to me is worth every penny right now in the grand scheme of things. That's me. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I believe. Say what you want. He's worth every penny, and it's not about the sacks. It's about everything else that he does. Controls the interior of the line, causing havoc, creating double and triple teams, quarterback hits.
You only have 4 less tackles than Aaron Donald. It's just that he didn't have the talent around him that Aaron Donald had with Leonard Floyd and Von Miller, Brockers, all those guys out there. It was just him and a couple of rookies.
Think about that. Their game stepped up even more defensively when they got Von Miller. Because why?
Yep.
Why? Because he helped lessen the pressure. Because if you didn't double team Donald, then guess what? He was making the plays. So everything football to me in the end, we can sit here and break down everything. It's the ultimate team sport. It's not like basketball. It's not like baseball. It's not even like hockey. It is the ultimate team sport because You're only as strong as your weakest link.
Exactly.
And
Right.
with
One man in a football game that misses his assignment can blow your
Fuck up
whole
the whole
scheme,
play.
Mhm.
Yep.
100%. Yeah.
especially in the trenches.
And Antonio, you know, sitting in on film sessions, you know that you get blasted, you get graded, and you get talked about, not only by your position coach, the coordinator, and the head coach, and sometimes your teammates. Everyone gets on you, so everyone breaks it down, but then everyone is getting on you because they need you to step up. They need you to step up and produce, because without you, you can't be successful.
Pancakes are only good at restaurants or at the breakfast table.
Right.
I don't know. You give me some good butter and syrup on that field, I'm gonna love it. Look, I play both sides of the ball. I love a good pancake. And when I'm getting up and I'm looking at him on the ground and I'm just smirking,
No, that's fine if we're the ones doing it. But
No, I
being
get you.
pancaked, it's
No,
no
you're
fun.
right.
It serves no
Think
purpose on the
about
field.
this.
Just
Think
like that
about
movie.
this.
What's that Tom Hanks movie with the baseball with the girls?
Oh, girls, crying in baseball.
There's
Damn,
no
what's the name?
crying in
What's the name
baseball.
of that? What's the name of that damn movie?
Is a league.
A League of Our
League of Their
Own.
Own.
Yeah,
League of
Yeah,
Their
League of Their
Own.
Own.
There you go.
That's it.
Classic.
There's
So
no
think about
crying in
this.
baseball.
We
Motherfuckers
went
gonna be
from
dying.
Danny Shelton. I mean, we went
Oh
from
my
Dalvin Tomlinson
gosh.
to Danny Shelton.
Oh my gosh.
You said that
Danny
name.
Shelton was
Oh.
getting pushed back like he weighed like a piece of a paper, just getting pushed back. And our run defense went from one of the top in the league in 2020 to one of the worst with one player.
Oh,
Gone.
Danny Shelton. He's almost as bad as Glennon and Fromm to me. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
he was. He was the
Yeah.
Glenn in the defense.
Because he's right in the middle. So yes,
And he was getting pushed back like he ain't lifted a weight in 10 years.
Danny Shelton.
Right.
Danny
Yeah.
Shelton.
That's all he was.
Yeah.
And with him getting pushed back like that, look how bad the defense played against the run. We were getting
Yeah.
gashed up the middle like 5 to 6 yards every play.
I had a nickname for him all year. It was Denny's.
Right.
Denny
What's going on,
Shelton.
Chop the Screw?
Much as he was getting pancaked.
He wasn't getting that's not pancakes. That's waffle pancaked.
No, I had
French
names for all of them.
toast.
Will Hernandez was
Oh.
Waffle House. Nate Solder was IHOP.
Okay.
Denny Shelton was Denny's.
Okay,
And
I
then
get
we
you.
had another one. It was another one we had up there. Can't remember. But we had another one. It was all getting
Zimenez.
pancaked out there. No, he's O'Shame Zimenez. Shameful ass.
So you can't tell me that a defensive line is not the most important part to your defense. I know it's not the sexy position. It's not the position that everybody comes to watch, unless he's the edge rusher. But that interior of your defensive line and those edge rushers, if they're not on one accord, and if your interior of that defensive line is trash, you're not getting any pressure up the middle. So the quarterback is always able to step up in the pocket, even if you do have good edge rushers. You're not able to stop the run up the middle. You're hardly going to be able to stop the run to the outside, because if those linemen don't have to worry about your inside rushers doing shit, that means they're double teaming the edge rushers and they're getting to the outside, because the edge rusher can't set the edge against two people. Not only is the quarterback having time to just sit back there and look like this and wait for his receiver to break open, even if you had two Deion Sanders out there.
Look, I could break it down like this, and we can make it real simple. The whole time I've been screaming O-line, O-line, O-line. Why? Because without a left tackle, a right tackle, and a good center, you're fucked. Same
really
thing
are.
can be said on the defensive line. Without a good nose tackle, without a good defensive end on either side, you're fucked. If you can't set the edge, you're done. Okay. And on the offensive line, if you can't protect the edge, you're done. So I mean, it's no passes get thrown without the offensive line holding up blocks, and no sacks occur without a defensive line getting pressure. So the game can't even be played without the two front lines. And that's
Yeah.
what people miss. They want to see the one-handed catches, they want to see the jukes and the stiff arms and all that, but they forget that none of that shit is possible without the front linemen on both sides of the ball.
Well said, Lou.
Perfect.
Absolutely well said.
I mean,
Back to you,
can't
Pat.
say it, right? I
Back to
can't
you,
say it
Pat.
any better than that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's perfect.
All right, you got the
That's
next
why.
one, right?
That's why Lou created the Blitz Squad, because that's the most important part to this team. Every Super Bowl team that you've seen, Coach can say this, Lou can say that they've seen all four.
Mm-hmm.
What do
I've
we
seen all
have?
5, son of a
Well, yeah,
bitch.
5.
Fucking Ravens.
I'm talking about the ones we won, because I've seen 4, but I haven't seen all 5 because I didn't get the chance to see the first Super Bowl because I was just born. But you guys have seen all 5. What did we have in each one of those Super Bowl appearances? Even the one that we lost.
Defense.
What did we have?
Defense.
You had a
Defense.
defensive line that controlled the game, period.
Yep.
Whether it was Leonard Marshall, Eric Howard, Lawrence Taylor, if you want to add the back end, Reasons, Carson, Banks.
Ooh, Gary Reed.
Gary Reasons,
Yeah,
yeah.
Reasons was
Yeah,
nice.
haven't
Pepper
heard
Johnson.
that name in a minute.
Hell, I can go back to Brad Van Pelt.
Hey,
Shout out
he
to the
was
Cobb.
The Crunch Bunch.
Hit
yeah.
that
Pepper
like
Johnson.
and subscribe button for us.
So I mean, it's the front 7 if you want to include the linebackers, but the front, whether it's a even or odd front, that's what controls the game. And like Lou said, you got to have a good 0-1 tackle, or however you want to categorize it, to control that middle. Whether you're using a quick nose guard, or you using 2 gaps, or whatever it is, you just need to control the middle, because if you control the middle, you throw the whole offense off. And if the offense can get to your middle, it throws your whole defense off.
Yep.
Tudo says I've got the best pancake recipes of the world. I've been working on those recipes for years. I pancake them so hard, bake them thin as tortillas, no butter or syrup needed. Only
No,
mayonnaise and
no,
garnish.
nigga, I don't like them thin. No. I need some thick pancakes, man.
Triscuit.
Giant seasons determined by how good the coaches will in order to win 11-6, not the players. If you couldn't possibly have better players on this roster this season, forget about it. Yeah, it's going to come down to a lot of coaching.
That's
Yeah,
right.
your
We
coach
going
here,
11-6. Let's go. Y'all
Justin
better hop
is-
on
yes.
the 11-6 train now, because once it leaves the station, can't jump
It's
on it
gone
later
forever.
on. We
Right.
11-6, and I've been saying it for 2 seasons. Damn it, it's gonna happen. Num your
Bookend.
Horingekyo, num your Horingekyo.
Bookend
Yeah, look
says,
like
give me the best
genius.
O-line and D-line, average everywhere else. You're going to the dance. Yeah, if you got the best O-line and D-line, you could be average everywhere else and still have a very good season and might make it to that bowl. I promise you. Because
Bengals
that's what the
D-line was pretty
Ravens
good.
were. That was what the Ravens were when they had Trent Dilfer and won the Super Bowl. They had the best D-line, one of the best O-lines. And they made it to the bowl and won. Hey, hold me down real quick, Lou.
No. Oh shit. Where was he at?
He just
Ray Perkins?
no, he was talking about Tudo, giant season determined how good with the coaching.
Okay.
But I mean, he did. I don't know if we did above it then.
He said Brad Van Pelt going back to the Ray Perkins days.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's when Bill Parcells was defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
And Belichick was the linebackers coach.
That was right when I was, oh man, young, dumb, wet behind the ears, but loving everything.
Wasn't Pepper Johnson on that team too?
In the '86 championship, yep.
Yeah, Pepper Johnson, Leonard Marshall.
William Roberts. I still remember them with that dance.
Oh my God! You remember the music video to they had all the football players singing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Horrible. The 80s was something else, boy.
I can imagine.
That was my time. Don't get me wrong. And my
No, yeah.
quarterback.
I just look back now and be like, what the fuck were we thinking sometimes?
Mm-hmm. I loved it. I love my quarterback because Phil Simms will always be my quarterback. Y'all can have Eli. Don't get me wrong. I
I'll
respect him.
take Eli. Eli's my
shit.
guy.
I love Phil Simms too, though. I love both of them. I
Phil
respect the
Simms
shit
was
out of both of them.
Phil Simms was a tough son of a.
Hell yeah, he was. And you know what? I was mad when his son went to the Jets because I thought his son had the talent to be a good quarterback in the NFL. And he went to the Jets and he got ruined. He never even made it off the damn bench.
I remember when they were playing in high school, watching them. So yeah, I get you. It was
Yeah,
there. So
Chris and Matt.
if you remove Jones from this offense and put in any other top 10 quarterbacks, statistically in this league, you get 40 TDs passing easily. It's a stack. Okay. So you're blaming Jones for the issues, nothing else. So like last year when we had Mike Lennon and Jake from
State Farm.
Oh my God.
So that's the reason why we only won 4 games last year.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't the atrocious offensive scheme and play calling. It wasn't the atrocious offensive line play.
Nate Solder.
Mr. Hernandez swinging gates.
Waffle House.
Solder doing the electric slide.
It wasn't all the receivers and the mash unit that we had offensively.
Yeah.
It was strictly Daniel Jones. So
yeah. Not to mention Fisher Price, aka Billy Price.
You're saying that you're not talking about last season, but based on that, we haven't even given Daniel Jones the opportunity to produce with what we have. I've seen the skill set. Does he need to work? Hell yes.
Yeah,
is there a
Super
lot
Bowl
that
shuffle? Yeah.
Yes. No, that's the Chicago Bears. Yeah. So,
but there was one where there was like songs from all the players from different teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It wasn't the Super Bowl shuffle.
Daniel Jones, I think. I mean, now if he doesn't produce, don't get me wrong, he's gone. I'm just like everyone else. He's gone. But I've watched his skill set. Earlier, I broke down that, in terms of since 2019, any running back, quarterback, anybody who's touched the ball and rushed with 150 rushes during the time, he has the 3rd highest average. He's at 5.81. The only 2 ahead of him are Lamar Jackson at 6.36 and Penny from Seattle at 5.81. So the skill set is there. Does he need to protect the ball? Yes. Does he need to produce? Yeah. But he has never had the talent that he has right now.
No.
He hasn't. I mean, Mr. Morrow said it best. We've done everything to screw this kid up.
Yo, Frank crazy. He said, Antonio, do you know NYG 22?
Allow us to introduce you to him.
Oh shit.
So I mean, I'm hoping that he produces. I'm really hoping and I hope everyone stays healthy because the talent is there offensively. The line, especially if we can get the play action or get the RPOs going, that running game is going to do so much wonders where defenses are going to have to bring safety down into the box. So no pocket awareness. That's why I said hopefully he improves. Bless you. Hopefully he improves. So if he improves, the talent, the skill set.
Moneybags 5664. Hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up button for us one time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it, I think, is going to have to do with that guy that he's going to be handing off the ball to as well. When Barkley plays, Jones is better. Barkley on the field makes Daniel Jones that much better of a player because of the dynamic skill set that Barkley brings to that offense will only help Daniel Jones that much more, especially if he can run the ball more consistently. that will easily make it a lot easier. That will make it a lot easier for Daniel Jones to be able to not have to worry about the blitzes coming at him, having 8-9 people coming after the rush on him. People are going to have to worry about the run, and it's going to make it easier for Daniel Jones to scan the field and find his open receivers, which, like you guys just mentioned, we have a lot of talent on the outside. Just have to hope these guys stay healthy. But Barkley, I think, is the key to everything. I think Saquon Barkley is the key to this offense because his health and what his skill set is going to bring, especially to this Dable Kapka offense, might be the thing that truly unleashes what Daniel Jones could do too. I think Barkley is that key.
Duran Osmond, there's a difference. Eli was going through PTSD from multiple years of sorry, bad offensive line. Okay. So by the time he got to his last 2 seasons and the old line play was so bad that he would either curl up to protect the ball or he would spike the ball down rather than take the sack. Okay. And that told you that he couldn't even fucking go through his progressions because the O-line was so bad. And then we threw Daniel Jones in there instead of sitting him behind Eli for a year, you know, and we grabbed Saquon Barkley, who I love, don't get me wrong, instead of solidifying the O-line so that Eli can, you know what I'm saying, maximize his last few years. But Dave Gettleman was a fuckhead and didn't know what he was doing. So now everybody's on the slay Daniel Jones train. You know, yeah, would I have picked him at 6? No. Okay. But he's our quarterback. Does he have skills? Can he potentially be a good quarterback in the NFL? Yes. Did he have good coaches here? Fuck no. Did he have a good scheme? Fuck no. Has he been coached? Fuck no. Now we have a good coaching staff. We have a good scheme. We have a good plan. Let's see what he does this year. If he falls on his face, we go get our guy next year. But right now, he's our guy. What are we going to do? Argue and talk shit all season, or are we going to cheer for our team? Like, that shit is ridiculous.
Antonio, you said it best. You said, in terms of Daniel Jones, he's a top 5 quarterback in passes that involve play action, which does 2 things. That means your running game is going. It's going strong. And if you do that, the play action opens up a whole lot more. And all he has to do is get the ball to his playmakers. And if he does that, whether it's dumping the ball off to Barkley, you know, getting the RPOs, doing the little swings or the smoke screens to either Tony or to Robinson, or Shep comes back to Shep, that just does so much more for his offensive game. It also, because this is the one thing that I've noticed about him, is he's gun shy. You know, he's been beat up so much that, you know, yes, he doesn't have good pocket awareness. You know, he needs to improve on that, but he's also gun shy. You know, if I'm a DC, that's the one thing I want my guys to do more than anything. Get good, clean hits on him, because that means he's going to put that ball in harm's way. So, you know, yes, he is good with the play action, and if the running game is going, that opens up that offense so much more. So much more.
Love to see some back shoulder throws a lot more to Galladay, too. Let him use that big frame to catch some of those plays around the sidelines, or even go up there and just pluck it out of the air, sort of what Plexico Burress was able to do with Eli Manning. I mean, you got to try to take advantage of that as well.
You talking about Eli Manning and Plexico Burress, though. You know,
Antonio.
They're different skill sets, but you know, you can still make it work.
Antonio. I mean, I understand what you're hinting at, but good play action, it can't work if you don't have a good running game, because the defense is not going to honor it. You know, it doesn't matter if the quarterback fakes it. They're just going to know that, you know, you can't run, so we're just going to play it straight up, and you're not going to put extra bodies into the box. So, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. Yes, it can from time to time if you don't use it often, but it's more effective and more efficient if you have a good running game. If Barkley is running, if he's running effectively and efficiently, that's just going to open things up for your slot guys, your tight ends, and guys on the outside. It really is.
I want to say this because I'm glad you said that, because it reminded me of what I wanted to say earlier. So what people forget is that all the Daniel Jones haters and all the people who support him having another chance, that whole conversation is going to be done this season because you got a healthy Saquon Barkley with a chip on his shoulder. You got a bunch of these offensive players who want to get their face back because they feel like they got a Boston ran on them in the hand of spades last year. All right,
Exactly.
so
That's one of the worst feelings in the world.
you add to that a young Wan'Dale Robinson with a more mature and a explosive Kadarius Toney, who might have a chip on his shoulder from all the media hell he's been catching since he's been here. And with young-minded offensive coaching staff that we have,
Galladay,
I'm telling you, this offense is gonna run through screenplays and passes, quick little passes to Saquon Barkley and Wan'Dale Robinson getting quick slants, Kadarius Toney with quick slants. Galladay might get some 50-50 balls, but I think it's going to be Saquon Barkley used like Alvin Kamara type. With the offensive lineman that we've picked, and Joe, I wish Joe was here right now because he would agree. These guys, he's setting them up to block and open up lanes that way to part the Red Sea so that Daniel Jones can see his receivers and see the field. And he has the option to take off if he needs to, dump it off on a quick check down or take his shot. And if you put him in that position and that line holds up, yeah, he's known to hold the ball for a long time. But when you set that type of line up in front of him, then that becomes an advantage, not a hindrance. So if they're setting this offense up the way I think that they are and using the fact that he holds the ball too long to their advantage, this offense is going to be a lot different than what everybody's saying on ESPN and this and that. They don't know what they're talking about. They get paid a lot of money to be on ESPN and all that shit, but they don't know what they're talking about. I'm telling you, this offense is going to be totally different than what everybody thinks, and it's going to shock some people. 11-6, bit. That's all I'm saying.
So I think Barkley's that guy.
I'm going to agree with Coach on that. I wasn't here, but I pretty much said that the play action is not that effective if you don't have a good run game. That can be true. If
gotta believe that you're gonna run, yeah.
If we know that we can stop your run game with just our 4 front linemen, there's no way that play action should be working in that game. If they're running a bunch of play action and they can't run the ball, I'm firing everybody on that defense. And I'm firing.
Why you biting on the run and you know they can't run, stupid? Get your ass on the bench. Go sit
Antonio, you also know, if you do good scouting, if you do good film work, you're going to pick up the tendencies on certain down and distances and the plus or the minus field positioning. So you know that you're almost going to be able to figure out exactly what they're doing based on, formations, tendencies, down and distance. So their play action, if you know that they're not running well, you're not going to bite on it. You're not going to bite it, and it's going to take away what, just like you and I agree, Daniel Jones, one of his great strengths is the play action, because he does a hell of a job getting that ball in there, making it look like, he's handing that ball off.
I mean, that's very true, man. Shout out to Tudo. He says, Coach Ed, elite players' responsibilities are to prepare themselves physically and mentally ready for any playbooks any given day, hard or impossible. But if D coaches are BS and playbook sucks, forget about it.
Exactly. They're not going to buy in. They're just going to, you're here for a paycheck. I'm here for a paycheck. Let's just run it out and finish out the season. So,
and you know what? You're right, Antonio, but they didn't run too much play action that game. But that touchdown that Saquon Barkley got, that wasn't a play action. That was
he was going to
name. He's a very good DB. He was peeking at Evan Ingram because they know that we run Evan Ingram on that quick out route all the time, and he was getting ready to jump it. But Daniel Jones faked him out. He told Saquon Barkley to run deep just in case he comes up and does that, and it worked.
Exactly.
But the big plays that we got in that Saints game, the one was the play action, and it went to Ross for the
Yeah.
touchdown. That was in the
Exactly.
beginning of the game. Other than that, the play action was obsolete because we couldn't run the ball.
Exactly. So I'm telling my guys to, don't bite too hard on the play action. I mean, don't jump up. Keep it back. Check your depth. If you normally sit at maybe 3.5, 4, all right, back it up to 5. Especially if it's 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 7. Play it back unless we got a blitz coming. And then that way, even if they fake it, you're back. You're playing deep to come up and take away the run. So
Okay, so you're saying that's not true. What all big plays came off the play action in that game besides the John Ross touchdown? Where all the
All
big
those were
plays
broken
came off the
tackles.
play action?
A lot of them was with broken tackles and played by the receivers that made them the big plays.
mhm.
No, Daniel Jones audibles was our big plays, and Jason Garrett was mad about it on the sideline. But they
How
worked.
many big plays came
You
off the
remember
play
that?
action, Antonio? Besides the John Ross touchdown, how many of those big plays came off the play action? Because that's Saquon Barkley touchdown. That was a 5 receiver set, so you can't do play action in that play. The big play to Kenny Galladay, that wasn't a play action, I don't believe. The big play, 2 play actions out the whole game.
He said, "Gonna get that for you right now." What about the Seahawks last year? Well, we beat them with Colt McCoy. We had Colt McCoy.
Yeah, Colt McCoy.
Wasn't that the year
But
before?
the run game was working. Yeah, the year before. The run game was working in 2020. We had one of the best run games going down the stretch with Wayne Gallman because the line was actually run
Rain
blocking.
train. Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually helps our point. We had a run game. That's about the only thing that we had. So yeah, the play action is going to work a little bit if we run a play action, and the only thing we can do is run.
2 play action off my top of my head. Kenny Galladay.
If you're talking about the Kenny Galladay pass where he got the catch and he broke off a tackle.
Tony did that a couple of times in that game too.
He said,
Well,
you mentioned the Ross one. I'm telling you 2 with Kenny. That's 3 big plays over 15
Kenny
yards.
Galladay, that play that got us down there to score the touchdown with Saquon Barkley. That was out of 3 receiver set out the shotgun. That wasn't a play action. Now the one I have to see the one that he caught to get us a field goal range. Was that off a play action? That might have been, but other than that, it wasn't a play action.
No. If Baker becomes available a free agent, we do not take him. We don't want him.
Who? No.
If I didn't want Aaron Rodgers' ass here, why the fuck would I want Baker Mayfield here?
Why do people want Baker Mayfield? What has he done with the talent he had in Cleveland, and he still couldn't get the job done? No, let him go to Carolina.
Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, fucking
Chubb, Hunt,
yeah,
a great offensive line. Stefanski as his head coach.
Tight end, yeah. What you call it? Njoku, what's it? Njoku,
Cooper, Njoku.
Don't want no fucking Mayfield.
Bryant. He had everything on that offense to succeed, and he still couldn't get the job done.
Put Mayfield on the Mayflower and send him out to the ocean. Fuck out of here.
Let Matt Rule have it.
RPO is different from play action. If you're trying to say RPO, Antonio, RPO is different from play action.
Exactly. RPO technically is a run. It's just what does the quarterback read if he sees that you can pull it. Exactly. It's like the old triple option out of the wishbone. You got your dive, you got your quarterback riding down to read the defensive end. Is he pitching it to the outside or is he taking it upfield? Same thing with the RPO. It's just reverse, and it's more in the pass.
I gave you 1 pass to Kenny Galladay, and I gave you the 1 pass to John Ross. That's 2 passes.
27-yard pass now playing 15. Daniel Jones deep pass middle to Kenny Galladay to number 25 for 27 yards. Mike Jenkins pass 17 yards after catch 10.
The hell was that?
I'm trying
That's
to
the
figure
first-
it out.
that's
Copy and
first-
paste
that
some
was-
stats. What you got going on?
That was the first pass that he got to Kenny Galladay on that. I think it was one of the first drives or the second drive where he got it to Kenny Galladay over the middle, where he waited to the second window and then he threw it to him. I think that was a play action, and then the John Ross.
Yeah.
But the other, that's two
Ross.
plays.
Oh,
But he just said 3 because he said 27 yards. Daniel Jones. I mean, or
I'm
did
lost.
you?
I don't even remember.
Unless
what the
no, I
argument
think
was at this point.
he. We're talking about play action. He said there's more play actions in that game, and the Giants weren't really running. And the play action is effective without the. You can be effective without the run with play action.
It
Did
can
you
be
copy? Go ahead.
No, I was saying it can be effective if you can't run. They got to be able to believe that you can run.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you might be able to pull it off once or twice, but
That's what
You
they
ain't gonna
did.
be
They
able
pulled
to-
it off twice.
Yeah, yeah.
They pulled it
Yeah.
off twice.
I'm trying to figure out.
But
where...
you're not gonna continue.
right.
You're not gonna continue to run play action. That wasn't a play action. That was a quick pass to Tony when he caught the pass on at the line of scrimmage and he turned it to a 21-yard play. I don't think that was
Okay.
play action.
No, I think it was just like we just said, quick pass to Tony, and he just was able to use his athleticism and juking to get to the first down.
All right.
Right.
Does he have a link? Because I want to look at this now. You got me. What the hell is the
mean-
27-yard now play? Because that looks like it's cut and paste.
Should we go the game, replay the game, and see what he's talking about? The link to that game with the Giants and the Saints.
We got to look at the tape right there. So I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
nothing until we go look at the tape right there.
Now look at the tape.
Right.
As Werner Wolf used to say, and now to the videotape. I got you.
I can look at it right now. Hold on.
That was Galladay's best game of the season too.
Yep. Shit is only a good game of the season. really.
It's the only game he actually played up to his contract. It was the only game he had over 100 yards or came close to it.
Yeah, I think he came real close to 100 yards in that game.
No, actually, he went over. I think he led the team in receiving that game. Otherwise, he didn't even come close at all to getting
right, he's
like
cut-
60, 70 yards.
He's copying and pasting this, but I'm trying. He's probably taking it from the game feed.
A clip?
Yeah, the actual transcript. 27-yard now playing 11:30. No huddle shotgun. Daniel Jones pass short right to Tony to number 49 for 20 yards. Pete Warner or whatever Warner. Pass 7
I'm
yards after
looking at
catch.
the
seven.
highlight right now. I'm looking at the highlight. No, the pass that he made to Kadarius Toney when he got the 18-yard first down, that
Right.
definitely was a play action. That
All
was
right,
a
let's
5
go to
receiver
Game
set.
Pass. All right, let me go to Game Pass.
Let me see. We'll go to that game.
Okay, they did one play action. Tony caught the ball for 2 yards. Demario Davis on that play didn't even respect the run. Yep, the play with Kenny Galladay called it, brought it to the 25-yard line. That was a play action. I said that
Okay.
play. Yeah, here's the bomb play to the Ross. So that's 2 plays where it was the play action. Those are the 2 plays I said. So let's see if they did some more play action plays in that game. I don't know. But those plays, they show those plays back to back in the highlights. So that's 2.
What happened?
The 2 plays that I said that he got in the play action.
Let's see what you're talking about, Pat.
It's actually not Daniel Jones talk. It's about them running play action, Frank.
He got burnt out with that shit with NYG 22.
Okay, that's 3. The one to Kadarius Toney, he got 17 yards. That was a play action, so that's 3.
Okay.
I forgot Ross fumbled the ball in the end zone on that one.
I'm looking for it. New York Giants.
Barkley actually had a couple nice
Okay.
runs in this game.
I will say this. That's 4. I guess if you want to count that, that was a 15-yard play to Galladay. So that's 4.
I think we're gonna have a lot of 11 and 12-man personnel on offense. 21-yard pass.
So,
now
yeah,
play.
that's right.
Short right to Kadarius Toney.
So, yeah, that was
Another
4,
20 yards.
Antonio. That was 4. Yep, that was only 4 in that game. So, I mean, it was more than the 2 that I said, so it was 4. Out of the 9 big plays, it was 4.
Okay.
So that was one game. Do we if the play action was working that good for us, we would have been doing that a whole lot more throughout the season. Or it could have just been the sorry ass play calling from Garrett and Judge.
What about that Washington game, the second week of the season?
Antonio, you act like you forgot, like you didn't never hear Joe Judge stand up at the podium in front of the microphone and say, "You don't always play offense to score points." This man literally stood at the podium and said to the world, "Well, the goal of offense isn't always to score points." Well, what the fuck is the goal of the offense then? Okay, so when you have that man as the head, the captain, at the helm of the ship,
how you doing, Seasons?
It kind of fucks up everything else.
Right.
Oh, he wasn't no motivator. He didn't motivate shit.
Yeah, he did a very good job of that, Skyler, for sure.
Yeah,
he did screw the Giants.
Motivator.
But, I mean, that was Daniel Jones' best game, so I'll give you credit to that. 4 of the big plays came from play action. Don't know why it happened that way, but it did. Maybe because the route concepts were better, and they figured we was going to continue to run those down hitches and curls, and we weren't doing that.
Well, everybody wasn't hurt yet, neither.
That's true too.
The one who was hurt was Riggs.
Once everybody was hurt, they had to minimize the playbook because they couldn't do what everybody else could do. So
exactly.
That team didn't turn on him.
What helped was Barkley.
He did keep that chemistry there. I'll agree with you on that. The team fought for him. The guys did. The players.
Yeah, so
I think he was out of his. I think he was just out of his league. To be honest, he wasn't ready to be a head coach.
He wasn't, and then Jason Garrett was sabotaging him because Jason Garrett wanted that job.
Exactly.
True.
That's fair.
Yeah, Garrett was definitely a major part to the offense being trash. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Garrett was 90% for sure.
But man, it's almost been 2.5 hours, fellas. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in with me, staying to the end. Tudo got to get one last comment in there. He says, Coach Ed, I've trained my teammates to respect coaches' decisions, no questions asked. Coaches' duties are to design playbooks to make opponents' heads spin. Our job is to execute each play to perfection. That is true.
True. That's facts. You know, I mean, it's up to the coaches to put the game plan in and players to execute. So
Antonio, subscribe to G Nation while you here, man. I'm trying to get to 1,000. I'm at like 940
Yes.
something, man. Help your boy
Yeah.
get there, man. Be
Yeah,
number
Antonio.
945 to subscribe.
Antonio, thank you for tuning in, bro. Thank you for being
Mhm.
in the chat all night tonight, man. That was pretty cool, man.
Caesar's Divine.
Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button for us. He says, do you think it would have went different if Garrett was the head coach and Judge was the offensive coordinator?
I'd have became a Bills fan the day that Garrett
Right.
became head coach.
I think it would have been even worse.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Wellington Merrill would have been rolling over in his grave.
As much as I hate the Cowboys, but that was one of the smartest moves Jerry Jones did.
Yep.
And if he was our head coach, his days are long past, long gone. So my YouTube page is Breaking Tackles Giants Podcast.
Breaking Tackles Giants Podcast.
Breaking Tackles. You have a channel. Okay.
Breaking Tackles Giants Podcast. I see it.
Well, I just became your 26th subscriber.
And I'm 27.
You're going to get bombarded by mine because I got a couple pages. So I did that to all of you guys. So
okay, that's what's up, bro. I have to check you out, Tonio.
I just hit you up too, Tonio.
Breaking Tackles Giants Podcast.
So I did that on that page.
Yeah, I'm the same on Twitter. I think everybody's the same on Twitter. I'm Big Pat Sports on Twitter. G Nation is G Nation on Twitter. Coach, I think your coach Ed Gladney on
Here
Twitter
you go.
too, right?
I'm number 30.
So we're all the same on Twitter too, bro.
You just got
Yes,
two
sir.
off of me. So here you go.
All right, I'm gonna have to check out your next podcast, bro. Maybe I'll come on and talk a little noise on your podcast.
Antonio, don't worry. You just started yours. I just started mine. So I'm with you. So I'm young in this game too. So
hey, I mean, shoot, me and Lou only been doing this. Well, I've been doing it for a year. Lou's still under a year. So
no, I just hit the year mark.
Oh, you just hit the year mark?
Yeah.
I'm about to 2 months, a little bit. I'm still young in the game too.
But yeah, I'll definitely hit you up, bro. And if I get a chance to come on the show, I'll definitely do that too and talk a little noise with you, man. You pretty cool dude.
He ain't subscribed to me, you know what I'm saying? He ain't like that I was talking shit. We need the O line and the D line. No, I'm just fucking with you, bro. Yeah, have a good night, man. I gotta go.
Caesars.
Eat something, take a shower.
Me too. Me too. He says, can't wait for the next show, guys. I got here late, but I hit that bell for next time and sub to you guys. Last question, if you got time, Neil Tibbs or Wandell, who has the better rookie season? It's going to be Tibbs.
Tibbs not going to be
sure. Yeah, it's not going
because
to be
you got
close.
Leonard Williams and Aziz on that line.
Put your link in the chat, Lou.
Put my link in the chat. Man, you know I'm not good at this shit, son.
Well, Jeff, ain't you moderator?
Yeah, but I'm not in the chat. Is Taj there? Or did Taj go ninja and like go?
He just said something. He said, "Y'all know me."
Taj put Taj put the link in the chat.
Yeah.
Always want to make me. Hey, Lou, dude, what the hell? That's the worst motherfucker at this shit to do it.
Oh my god.
You're not good at delegating, sir.
Yeah.
You know?
I got like 6 moderators and none of them are here.
If you're a basketball fan, the Celtics are now up 3-2, heading back to Boston. So our buddy, Mr. Zion, Our buddy Mr. Zion's not in a happy mood right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, they won
Oh,
by
his
13
Heat lost?
tonight. Yeah, the Heat
Yeah,
lost
the
tonight
Heat
by
lost.
13.
Yeah,
Hey, he in a better mood than me. I'm
Zion
down
is
3-1.
sick right now.
Better mood than I am. I've been eliminated weeks ago. We get to see a win.
Right.
I don't even know if Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are coming back next year. If they both gone and we have nothing.
Yeah, that would be sad.
Mm.
That would be sad for you
The
guys.
typical Nets, man. I wouldn't be shocked.
And Tony, I just subscribed to your Twitter page, so you should see me there.
Okay. I think you're looking for the Twitters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I'm following Antonio already on Twitter. But
Yeah.
Taj, I think Taj knows Antonio already, so he'll get us the Twitter. He'll get him
I
get
got
the
it.
Twitters to him.
I put my link in the chat. Y'all some dirty motherfuckers, boy.
But Coach Ed, I definitely appreciate you bringing the knowledge to the film session
I appreciate you guys
tonight,
having me.
man. I had fun doing that Leo Williams film session.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent job, Coach.
You know I love that stuff.
Fantastic.
But I can't wait till the season because I'm gonna be doing the Big Blue film reviews on Fridays, and we definitely gonna get into some film review.
I cover boxing and UFC as well, Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you do boxing too, Lou?
Yeah.
I thought you just did a UFC.
No, I
you
do all the
leather to
boxing.
face.
Okay. I just because I'm not a UFC guy, so that's why.
Yeah, I just started dabbling in the UFC. I love boxing though, my whole life. Yeah.
Okay.
He said you guys are one of the few positive groups out there. I thought I was alone. Positive vibes over here, man.
Yeah, we try to, man.
You
The
don't
world
get
is
nothing out
negative
of being
enough.
negative,
Right.
Exactly.
I don't understand it. Oh, everybody's gonna get hurt. Everybody sucks. Everybody's not worth their contract. And then when they lose, you mad. What you mad for? You already predicted it. You already said what's gonna happen. What you mad
Life
for?
and death is in the power of the tongue.
Right. He says,
Okay.
Coach Ed, last season my club team made it to semifinals against all odds, and we've learned a lot along the way. This coming season will be much different. We're just warming up for sure.
That's what you got to do. Stay focused. Get your bodies right, and the biggest thing, get your minds right. And then you guys work together. I'm not proficient on rugby. I get the concepts of it, but I've seen plenty of games going down to Princeton University because they got the field down there. So I can definitely appreciate you guys.
Oh yeah,
Right.
it's a tough ass sport.
Yeah, they ain't lying. That's a brutal sport.
It
I don't know
is.
how two of them do it. But yeah, Antonio, that's the only thing that makes me mad about the negativity stuff. It's what you mad for? You already predicted what was gonna happen. You can get mad about it. How you gonna say what's gonna happen and then when it happens, you get mad?
I'm mad because I knew we were going to suck.
Saturday night, we got Javante Tank Davis and Rolly Romero.
Yep. I can't wait.
Leather
One
to
of my
the Face
favorite
podcast.
streams is Leather to the Face, man. You want some funny commentary on some boxing? Come to Leather to the Face, boy. We got it all for you.
Wales is really good at it too when he's on the commentary.
Right.
Wales be
You
having
see his
me dying.
passion.
Oh, mate, he got punched right in the eye, mate.
Oh, whatever he screams, something happened. Pushed him right in the eye. Oh my good lord! But that dude, Benavidez messed up. What was his name? Lemieux.
Oh shit!
Lord have mercy. I already seen it happen. He tore him up. But I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to end this, fellas. Any last words before we get out of here?
I'm just looking forward to a great season. Looking for the team to develop, compete, and grow. And, hopefully Lou's prediction comes to fruition and we're making some serious run. Because it can be done in 1 year now. Nowadays it can from 1 year to the other. So, and we're playing in the NFC, NFC least now. So
Right.
Loose
But they're gonna have to
prediction.
start putting some respect on the NFC East's name as well, because we're the
That's
best
right.
division in football history.
No, I know
Loose-
that because every team has a Super Bowl, at least one, so no one else can say
Right.
that.
Nobody else
Exactly,
can say
right
that.
there. Loose
We're the only
prediction comes to
team-
fruition, and we end up winning the division. There
Right.
you
We're
go.
the only
11
team
and
that's
6.
beating Tom Brady in the Super Bowl as well. Think about
That's
that.
right.
Twice,
Who else can
not
say they
once,
can say
twice.
that?
Yeah, we did it twice, and the Eagles did it.
Mm-hmm.
We're the only teams that stopped. No, I think who beat the Bills? We beat them once. The Cowboys beat them. Did the
Cowboys.
Cowboys
And
beat them twice?
Washington, they lost
Washington.
to NFC East. They
They
lost
lost
to
to-
NFC East.
They lost
Yep.
to
So
the
we're the only
Cowboys
team that
twice.
stopped that dominant Bills team from getting off 4
Mhm.
Super Bowls. Because
Mhm.
Dallas beat them twice. We got them once, and the
Washington got 'em.
Redskins got
Yeah,
them
Washington
once.
got once. Yeah. Like, we're
Think
gonna go
about
all
it.
the way to the Super Bowl and be like, oh shit, we gotta play the NFC.
They
We
lost
got
to
the
the
most
NFC
Super Bowls
East,
in our
man.
division, and it's not even close.
Yep.
5, 4, 3, and 2. So yeah, so that's 13.
Now the Eagles got 1.
Yeah, we got the
Cowboys
Eagles
got 5. We got 4.
4, and the Redskins have 3.
Yep.
I'm sorry, not the
So-
Redskins. Sorry. Washington has 3.
Yeah, 13. That's true.
Yes,
Yeah, the
13.
Foreskins have 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
The only division that got that. I think are we the only? No, we're not the only division that got multiple teams with multiple Super Bowls, but we got the
No.
most Super Bowls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the AFC East has the Patriots and the Dolphins, because I think the Dolphins have what, 1, 2,
The
or
Jets
3?
are 1-1 too.
Yeah.
The one with the Steelers and the Ravens have
Steelers
two of
and
them have
Ravens.
multiple.
Yep.
Um,
Steelers
South-
and Ravens got 1.
South only has the Indianapolis, and the West has the Raiders have 3. Kansas City has
2.
And Broncos have two.
2.
The
Yeah,
Broncos got 2.
and in the West,
Yes,
NFC
it really
West,
was that good of a division, Antonio.
NFC West has the Rams have 2, the 49ers have 5.
Maybe 5 or 6.
I said Eli
They
to
have
go
5. Arizona has none, and Seattle has 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
What
And this
division am I
little
missing?
piggy cried, wee, 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 all the way
Right.
home.
NFC South, the Saints don't have 1. The Falcons
No,
don't
Saints have 1. Saints
Saints
have
have
1.
one.
Oh yeah, they
Saints
do have
Drew
1. They do
Brees,
have 1.
yeah.
The Saint, with
Yeah.
Breeze. Saints
Right
Bucks
got 1.
got
The Falcons
two.
don't have none. The Bucks got 2.
have 2.
And
the
the Panthers don't have 1.
Yep.
NFC North is the Packers have
4.
won the first 2.
And they won 1 with Brett Favre and 1 with Rodgers.
Yeah, they have
They
4.
got 4.
The Bears,
Bears
have
only got 1.
Broncos have 3. That's right. They won 1 with Peyton.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they
Oh,
did.
that's right. Good point.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. The Lions have none.
And the
And
Vikings
The
have none.
Vikings have
And the-
none.
Vikings
Yeah.
have 4 losses, like the Bills.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think so we're the only. We have the most Super Bowl wins too.
That's when they had the
Mhm.
purple people eaters.
Mhm.
Yep. And Fran
Mhm.
Tarkenton, sorry ass, can never bring it home.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And Giants fans were cheering when we got him. You didn't do a damn thing for
Mhm.
us.
Somebody said that in the chat the other day. Had me dying.
We got
He was
Fran
like-
Tarkenton. We good now.
Mhm. Mhm.
But man, I know Lou tired, coach. I definitely appreciate you coming through. You can come through when you want to, bro. I appreciate your expertise of breaking down this Leonard Williams film. Jeff, you already know what it is. But man, we finna get up out of here. So go ahead and hit you with the smoke screen, and we see you on the next stream, which I think is tomorrow on the Big Blue Lounge.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you on Gnation Inside Sports tomorrow, Big Blue Lounge. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. Thank you for all the new
Thank you.
guys that came through. Hit that like and subscribe button for us. But until the next episode, smoke screen.
Smoke.